That's the worst thing to find in your cereal.
No. Yeah, I was there.
No, I'm explaining like I
Oh,
explained
okay.
how I explained it to you. I no, but I put the still beating heart of Jack Ruby.
Yeah.
So Clanky,
it's
this is why Jack Ruby is a meme.
Okay, good to know.
Hang on, have I
Is
ever
he
shown
the
you
person? I'm still not 100% sure who he is.
Oh,
He's
okay.
the guy who killed
Jack
Lee
Ruby
Harvey
is the
Oswald.
guy who shot Lee Harvey Oswald, the guy who shot JFK.
Well,
He's the guy.
I know who Lee Harvey Oswald is, but
Yeah.
I assumed that I almost called him
Hang
fucking
on.
Jack Kirby. That isn't right.
Oh,
I assumed
Jack Kirby was
that
his
Lee Harvey
inspiration for
Oswald got
Eternals.
like executed by this guy in like a jail cell or something.
So this is the thing. He was being Lee Harvey Oswald was being escorted to his trial when Jack Ruby, who it's complicated. He may have been hired by the mob to do it. It's
He may have been hired by the FBI.
Yeah, because there's a whole thing about it. But point being, this guy Jack Ruby, he was like a bar owner in New Orleans. He jumps out of the crowd as they're escorting Lee Harvey Oswald to his trial and fucking shoots him.
Well, someone really liked JFK, am I right?
It's really unclear. It's really unclear the motivation.
It's very simple. Just watch season 2 of the Umbrella Academy.
Oh yeah. That's it.
Anyway, let's talk about video games.
Hello and welcome to the Yearlies. It is the year 2013. People are running wild in the streets, chasing after copies of games that they know nothing about. Before we go into our actual brackets and debauchery, let's at least refresh ourselves with what we were doing, who we were, where we were, why we were in 2013. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first because
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. 2013 was a big like influential year when it comes to my time with gaming because 2013 was the transition. I started the year in my senior year and I ended the year after my first semester in college. And during that time, I finally started like collecting games. I stopped selling my games back to GameStop because I was envious of my classmates' collections. I finally made a backlog and like actually started, pursuing it. And then I just have memories of games I played my first semester at college. I played Bioshock for the first time.
Ooh.
I 100%ed Pokemon Ranger. I think I played Fire Emblem for the first time maybe that year. It was pretty cool. 2013 game wise. I feel like it was a very important year. I was just saying I was surprised that I didn't end up putting 3D World on here because I realized that I like 3D World a lot, but perhaps not as much as I used to. I think 3D World is really good. I know we kind of have a weird relationship with Mario games in this group.
You're telling me?
But I think go ahead.
Sorry. No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, like, I agree with you. 3D World is a very good game. I think it takes the new Super Mario Bros. Formula and converts it really well to 3D. And like very one-to-one. And I won't deny that at all. But again, I like Mario best when it's being like, I guess like, I want to say, I don't mean this to come across as like rude, but I mean like creative and interesting and like, I guess unique is a better word. Sorry, I didn't mean creative and interesting because some of the levels in New Super Mario Bros. Games are really good.
I think 3D World has some very good level design.
And it does, it absolutely does. And I'm not denying that it's like an amazing game, but I wouldn't call it the best game of 2013.
No, I mean clearly not. But I think it's in the top. I think it's in the top 10. And
Even if it's not in the bracket, we still slag off a Mario game.
I feel bad.
Jordan,
He will
I'm
never
trying.
stop. And then a Luigi game got in.
I'm trying, Jordan.
I do like, believe it or not, I do like Mario games. I really do.
But
I really do.
I have very idiosyncratic opinions on Mario games, so
I got a 3D World for my 3DS. It's delightful.
I played 3D World with Graham.
Mm.
He brought it to
Did you?
GU once.
Oh,
Graham has no memory.
no, I'm thinking 3DS game. Yeah.
3D Land?
Graham does
Yeah,
Which is
3D
also
Land.
good.
Yeah.
3D Land is also pretty good. I won't deny that.
I enjoyed what we played together at GU.
I don't want to spend too much time on any one game in honorable mention, so I'll just say 3D World has a great soundtrack as well.
That's also true. It has probably. I will agree with you, Taylor, in the sense that it probably has one of the most baller soundtracks of any Mario game.
Those are words.
No, it is really good music.
And the Bowser's World.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
Anyways, I didn't play Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus until much later in my life, but it was Into the Nexus was like A Crack in Time was supposed to be the last Ratchet and Clank. So when they kept making Ratchet and Clank games, we were all very happy. And Into the Nexus was like the first like traditional Ratchet and Clank game after that, and it's really, really good. And there's not really a whole lot I can say about that one, but it's just really good. Sly Cooper Thieves in Time was huge because I was a Sly Cooper fan, and we never thought Sly 4 was going to happen. And I remember I pre-ordered that game. I never pre-ordered home console games. I only ever pre-ordered DS games. So this was weird for me. And then I sat down and played Sly Cooper, and the first fucking mission is going back to fucking Japan and fucking playing as Ryoichi and doing Ninja Spire jumps, and Murray dresses up as a geisha, and it's just awesome. It's a great game.
Cool.
Fire Emblem Awakening brought Fire Emblem back from what was going to be its grave.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised not on this list. I think that's like the first big, like, this should be on here.
I never finished Fire Emblem Awakening, but I feel like if I did, I would think very highly of it.
Awakening is good. It's not. I was actually thinking about this today. What my favorite Fire Emblem games? It's not in my top 3, but it's probably in the top 5.
But I was gonna say, going back to Sly Cooper real quick, it's always been a series I've been really interested in, and like something that I've always wanted to like experience myself. So, yeah, that's all. That's all I was gonna say.
I now on a resume can say that I teach people about Sly Cooper.
Yeah. Really? That's really dope.
I mean, no, but I made Mick play the first one, and he kind of liked it.
And I kind of vicariously played the first one through their Let's Play of the first one.
Yeah,
so.
Sure.
I'm 100% convinced I will enjoy the next 2 Sly Cooper games more than I enjoyed the first one.
Yes, you will.
But, yeah,
Absolutely. Some of I also wanted to briefly mention SteamWorld Dig, which I think is a really, really good short game. It's basically like roguelike. I guess Terraria is. Yeah, it's roguelike Terraria, basically, where you make money by digging and buy shit to dig better. And it's really fun and addictive, and I like just sometimes go back and replay it all the time. Very easy game to play. I would recommend it. Sorry, I'm almost done. 2 more. Ni no Kuni and the Wrath of the White Witch, which like everyone had their eyes on, and then it came out and nobody talked about it ever again because apparently it was really hard for being a Studio Ghibli children's game. But basically it's like real-time strategy Pokemon.
Yeah, that's another game I've always wanted to play.
Yeah. Oh, the second one's better, but the first one is really, really good. And they have a casino, and they have this one gambling game called, it's either Platoon or Plunder, and it's like the most strategical gambling game I've ever played, and it's really addictive, and I want to teach everyone how to play it. And I think people would just like melt it with the story. It's really cute, and I feel like the Ghibli charm is very well littered throughout this game. Okay. And then finally, the game I played most recently, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. That game is.
Yeah, I don't think you nearly need to say anything more about it.
Well, it's on my wish list on Steam. I plan on playing it.
And I'm not even saying that to move on. I just think everyone knows everything there is to say about Metal Gear Rising.
Well, then I'll just say 2 things. One, it's a little too short, which I think is part of the reason why. If it was longer, it could possibly have even made it into the top 3. I don't know. It's really short. And A Stranger I Remain is a great song that you guys should all listen to.
I've been listening to recently. I've been listening to "It Has to Be This Way" a lot.
Yeah, no. So in terms of, I really only have 1 or 2 things to mention. In my honorable mention, and they are so one is a game I played called Mag Runner Dark Pulse. It's like a Portal type game where you're going through like a testing facility and you have to solve puzzles. But the puzzles all revolve around magnets. But it has another weird, fun quirk, is that it's also a horror game.
Now you got me. Now you got me.
I got it actually. I think Kyle bought it for my birthday. Anyway, but yeah,
Happy birthday,
I'm a-
Mick. You're magnets.
what?
That's what he put on the card.
I want a top 10 video game magnets.
Top
They
10.
can all be from Portal 2.
We need to update it because Longclaw needs to be there. I mean, I'll just say Pokemon X and Y introduced my favorite Pokemon, Tyrantrum. But no, there was another game I wanted to mention.
That's so neat. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Tyrantrum's your favorite Pokemon?
Yes.
He's a pretty dope Pokemon.
That's
Yeah.
so neat.
The tutorial lasted way too fucking long.
As
Dude, the
usual.
tutorial lasted until the second gym. That shit was rough.
I
Oh,
know,
that's a
but
tutorial never
after that,
ended.
I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm enjoying this.
They had their own
there's,
credits for the tutorial. It was
I
great.
have to be honest, I have a lot of problems with X and Y.
Me
but
too.
I
Me
won't
too.
deny that. I won't
Me
deny
too.
that at the time I loved X and
But
Y. I
can I
won't
just
deny
say-
that.
X and Y was the last Pokemon game I played and enjoyed.
That's
So-
X and Y is also a
Ooh.
really underrated Coldplay album.
Um,
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
All I'll say is I'm glad X and Y is not on the bracket.
It was
likewise.
close.
No.
It
Even
was
if I
very
put it on the
close.
bracket, I probably would have voted against it. Unless it was up against
We'll find out, won't we?
A Monaco game.
honestly, other than The Last of Us, I really have no problem with any of the others of these winning.
Ooh.
Anyway,
That sounded a good bracket.
but
that we're trying to
2013 was my junior year in high school, and there's really nothing else to say about it.
Gotcha.
do. Okay.
Jordan, who's next?
Clanky. Well, how was your 2013?
My 2013. Well, let's see. I was 14, turning 15,
Oh.
going from my freshman year to my sophomore year of high school. I would say that I was very, I don't know. I feel like this was like a point where, without getting like too deep, I was like really like discovering who I was as a person. And I hate that sounds super corny. But I mean it in the sense of like I didn't really have an identity, I feel like, until high school, and I feel like this was like some of the formative years of that.
I do understand, Clanky. Trust me.
Yeah. So like this was like when I was like, I don't know, finding out who I was as a person. As far as like gaming and being an epic gamer is concerned,
Gaming.
I was still, hot on my heels about the fucking Nintendo 3DS, because I got that for my birthday, and then I got from my dad the Wii U for Christmas of like 2012. So then 2013 was like when I actually got to experience it, because Christmas is at the end of the fucking year. So I played a lot of like Wii U, I think. And I think this was like start of like the peak of like my Nintendo fanboyism, which I can say now I'm not necessarily I don't necessarily agree with, but I can't deny that it definitely shaped how I like view games now. You know what I mean? Like, because that was like some of the formative years of like when I was not only playing like Wii U games, but like also like going back and playing old GameCube games or like N64 games and shit like that. Like when I was truly like knees deep in being a Nintendo fanboy, if that makes sense.
Fair enough.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I remembered the other thing I wanted to talk about, and
Yeah.
it was I neglected to put Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons on the list, and
Joseph Ferris's first game.
I know, I was right.
Ferris.
But anyway,
Can I ask you really quick, do you think that's worth playing? And if so, should I find someone else who hasn't played it?
It's not a co-op game.
Yeah.
I thought it
Despite-
was.
No, it's not.
seems-
That's the weird thing.
You control each brother with one control stick.
I thought it was a co-op game. Really?
It's
That's
not a co-op
wild.
game.
Do you?
Based on
I
the
mean-
premise, you would assume it was, but no, it's not.
I really went my entire life thinking that was a co-op game.
Listen, you
Good
can
reason,
share,
like
you can share a controller with someone.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess my question is, should I share a controller with someone or play?
I
it by
would say
myself?
sure. I would say it's a very short, sweet journey. It's
Okay.
like it's not as good as the other two, but it is good.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, talk
Okay.
about Dr. Luigi.
Dr. Luigi.
Oh,
I-
everyone's
I-
favorite.
I fucking put it here
Okay.
literally because I was like, wouldn't it be so funny if this got on the bracket? I really hate to say it, but there's no other reason Dr. Luigi is there.
I mean, look, I'm glad you admitted it because I was gonna be like, listen, if that got on the bracket, I might have killed you.
Honestly, Mick, I would have deserved it.
You were close too. If you had one more tie and then the people voted against you having yours, you would have had Dr. Luigi on your list.
I know, but isn't that terrifying? Isn't that so scary?
I just I don't think Dr. Mario is a very good puzzle game.
So true. I honestly agree. I like Dr. Mario, but at the most lukewarm I can possibly give it, you know?
Kinda, yeah.
Pales in comparison to Yoshi, honestly.
So true.
Yoshi's okay. I played a good amount of Yoshi. Not Yoshi's Cookie. He means Yoshi, the fucking tile swap game.
I really thought that they were both the same game.
Oh no, they're different games.
You want to go, Graham?
Yeah. So my two honorable mentions, because one of them made it onto the list. Gone Home, very short, very sweet, just environmental storytelling game.
It's a walking simulator, right?
Yeah, but it's more like it's definitely more of like you investigate. It's just basically like the story of like this family's house, based just on things that are in their house. Like there's a story like going through with like notes you can find. Like I think one of my like you could just find like the dad of the house. You could find all of his copies of unsold books that he wrote. And that's just really sad. But yeah, it was definitely like a very like I played through it. I got it for like PS Plus like a couple of years ago. I played it, enjoyed it. Not really much to say. Like I don't want to like talk too much about it because like it's a game so focused on just discovering. So if you have any interest in playing it, play it for yourself. And then Rogue Legacy. I have like weird memories of this would be like a game like for some reason I would play it whenever I was in like a Best Buy or whatever. It was just like a model like
This is
PS4.
Can I just say, and I mean this I mean this so legitimately, this is such a Graham story.
Yes, it really is.
First of all, isn't Rogue Legacy a PC exclusive game that it ended up at a Best Buy?
It was on like PlayStation. I'm sure it might be Best Buy or like Target. It was definitely for PlayStation. Yeah, and then like I do own it now. I just haven't really played it because like
you're
not on Best Buy. You're not in the right mindset.
Rogue Legacy.
I'm not really very good or even like really much a fan of 2D platformers.
That's fair. Rogue Legacy is one of those games that I've always really wanted to play, but I just never have. It's one of those games that, like, when I was like watching YouTube a bunch and watching like people play indie games, and Rogue Legacy was one of the big ones, I would have like always enviously watch it and go, I want to play this game. And then like I bought it, or I think I was given it. I think by Taylor.
I'm sorry, Clanky, you bought it?
No.
He corrected himself. He corrected himself.
I did correct myself
immediately after. There's no reason to get upset.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Taylor. Taylor gifted it to me, and like I still have yet to play it, but like it's one of those games that like I've always like watched and wanted to play, but never have, and now I have no excuse not to, and I have it.
I mean, the sequel just came out of early access, so
I know, but shouldn't I play the first one before the second one?
No, that's exactly why, because I'm going to play the second one, and you're going to play the first one.
Anyway,
so fair.
Taylor, I'm sure you're happy to hear that your money has been well spent.
Shut up. You know what? Now you've guaranteed that by the end of the month I'm going to play it.
Graham wants to say something.
This was also my transferring not only from freshman to sophomore year, but also to a different school. So I had freshman year part 2.
I didn't know you transferred, actually.
Yeah, I was in public school, and then I transferred to Catholic school.
Gotcha.
And I'm not even going to mention it. I'm not going to mention it.
We don't talk about Catholic school.
No, I thought you were going to bring up Demix or something. I don't know.
No. It was also my first time doing theater and having like my epiphany moment. But yeah, it's like transferring to Catholic school is probably what set me on the path that led me to purchase, which led to be here.
Good for you, Graham. I thought you were going to say I learned to do drugs.
No.
You don't learn to do drugs. That is always within you.
Taylor, Taylor, Graham's not cool enough to even be offered drugs.
Oh
No.
my god.
That's not true. Graham is
I
way-
was.
Okay.
way
Then answer me this.
It wasn't
If you
a kind of
think
school.
Graham's never done drugs, how could he get through being fucked by me?
Graham's way cooler than me, and I do plenty of drugs. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I would
I'm
quarrel
literally
you on that.
getting
I'm
loaded
with
right
you
now.
on that first premise.
Listen,
Yeah.
I got offered drugs because I said that green was my favorite color. Graham's been offered drugs.
No,
Dude,
it was me and my friend were outside of like a card shop, and like there was some like guy, like a grayish, like some like older guy. He's like, what was like, hey guys, you want some? And he like rubbed his fingers together, and we're like, no. So you offering something?
he could
Did I
have been
ever tell you
offering
guys about the
lamps.
time I got offered drugs at Purchase
Oh.
in broad daylight?
In
Alright, that's
did you
one of
take
the,
them? Did you take
No,
them?
no, here's what happened. So this is like because at Purchase, for those of you who don't know, they have these like they'll have people like come and like sell records and media and used media and shit like that. And so I'm out there coming through some of those, and then some guy with a backpack comes over to me and he says, hey, you look like a pretty cool guy. You know anyone around here that might want to buy some magic mushrooms?
Oh,
And I'm like,
I would have
and,
looked
I'm,
at
and this is within earshot of people, and I'm like, no,
Well,
no,
yeah,
no.
they're magic. Of course you want to know more.
But I'm like, no, I really don't. And he says, guess you're not cool, and he walked off.
wow.
Oh, damn. That's rough.
Wow.
Joke's on him. I am the coolest person in my parents' house.
I was gonna say you're the coolest person in this call.
No, I'm not.
No, jokes
I
aside.
have 2 podcasts. I'm not cool.
Oh hell yeah.
3 if you count whatever this is.
Yeah. I'm in a Looney Tunes podcast. Okay.
We have
Yes,
over
you
100 episodes.
I mean, our
Can I just say, I'm
official
referencing-
100th episode
there's a,
comes out in like June, I think.
So I assume I'll be the last to go right here.
Yeah.
And I made a horrifying discovery when I was looking through the things I did in 2013, because I looked through 2013 and I was like, what did I do in 2013? Oh no, that's when I started trying to take my YouTube channel seriously.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
dude.
So I released.
Congratulations, man.
It didn't pan out because after 2013,
Oh,
nothing
no,
happened.
really?
Yeah.
When did
I'm bummed.
Yeah, it's truly.
What's his face? Dude, what's his face 77 was going to be a star.
Yeah, but now there's this new guy coming around called Bugman Guy who might, I don't know, edit these videos,
Mm.
or do something, I don't know.
do it?
Yeah.
But
But
collaborate with Reverb.
Can I?
what were you gonna say, Clay?
I just want to ask one question. Is this when did Gamers of Dawn start?
Don't even ask a question like that. That had to have been fuck. Let me pull it up.
Exactly.
Let me pull it
Can I
up.
just say that is the exact emotional reaction I had upon watching you guys play.
That's how they start every video.
Mario
Let me
Can I
sign
say
in.
it might as well have been.
Dude, I don't.
Clanky is right here.
I'm here too.
Yeah, no. I watch. By the way, Taylor, never watched their playthrough of Mario Party. You would literally die.
Yeah.
They are
It's
all.
so
These are all
bad.
private
I've never seen
videos.
anyone. It's been. Christian is such a fucking tryhard in that series. Like he is trying.
Chris, the
his
guy
God-
who says no to stars.
He is trying his goddamn heart out, and he is like getting genuinely heated when he's struggling to win.
Oh dear.
The Gamers of Dawn started on
That's
March
what I mean.
14th.
Don't watch it. It'll kill you.
The Gamers of Dawn started March 14th, 2013.
Oh no!
2013 was the year that Gamers of Dawn started.
Congrats!
Lord.
Oh man!
Happy
I'm
9-year
sorry.
anniversary.
I'm sorry I even brought it up. I'm sorry, Christian. I'm gonna shut up now. You take the stage.
By the way, yes, Mick, I knew that Christian was here too, but Christian doesn't ever pretend that he liked that. No.
I privated the channel for a reason. But so I did my Pikmin Let's Play, which went 16 parts and then stopped. I have never beaten Pikmin to this day.
The maps has said no more.
You've never beaten Pikmin?
I've never beaten
know,
Pikmin.
right?
Christian, you've never
I've
beaten
never beaten
Right?
what he
Pikmin.
said.
And you never will.
But
No, that's incorrect. I'm gonna go to his house and duct tape him to a chair until he beats Pikmin.
Don't
I'm gonna go his
threaten me
house and
with a
duct tape
good
him a
time.
chair because I think that's what he likes.
I also 2013 was the year I did my Punch Out Let's Play, where I played
Oh.
all of Punch Out Wii, and I did complete that Let's Play.
Yeah, Christian's good at Punch Out.
To deliver a 1-2 punch to Clanky, I believe 2013 was the year that we
Oh,
played
no.
Osu.
Oh no! Oh no! Ah!
And we played Osu for about a hot month and recorded one episode of it for Gamers of Dawn before stopping.
What the
Um,
fuck are you looking at?
And then
God.
other than that, well, we talked about Game Dev Tycoon last year. That's the year this is the year I actually played it, and it's really, really good.
You boys have a shared path the rest of us can only dream of.
And Colonel Avery.
I can't get out. I can fool him in a cage.
Get out.
And in terms of my honorable mentions, Pokemon X and Y is a soft spot in my mind for two reasons. One, because it's the Pokemon game I put the most hours into, and two, it is one of the few video games that I ever went to a midnight release for.
I'm sorry, I have a follow-up question to that statement.
Yeah.
How does X and Y, and I mean this genuinely, not as an insult to you, but as an insult to the game. How is that the game you end up with the most amount of hours in?
Shiny
That's the
hunting.
game with the least amount. Okay.
It's because like we all went to like the midnight release together. We're like we're gonna get really serious into Pokemon,
Well, that
and
has
like
nothing to
that's
do with
like
the amount of time you put into the game.
Well,
no,
we spent
it
a
did
lot of
because, like,
time.
yeah.
There's
sorry.
now an emotional investment.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time wonder trading and doing like wonder trade battles, and a lot of us had the game, so that led to a lot of us like playing it all together at the same time, and that made that.
Yeah.
It was like
Okay.
the one Pokemon game that like everyone in like our friend group at the time had, you know.
Pretty
So it was
much.
like,
I think
you
I
all
was
get
like the
together
same
and
way.
Yeah.
Because like Pokemon X and Y, I think that's like the game I've put just most hours into my 3DS in total. Like when you look at the records.
It's
Called a shiny in.
You know, for me, it's like if you guys had been born in a different year, you would never have put as much time into X and Y because you would be putting that time into whatever Pokemon game had come out at the time that you were in that school year.
Oh, you're 110% right, and that's why, like, I at the end of the day don't like X and Y compared to a lot of the other games. But I can't deny that, like, it has a very soft spot. It has a very soft spot in my heart, like Christian said.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a very nostalgic piece of media to me, and it was the last Pokemon game that I ever put a lot of hours into.
Okay.
Game & Wario sucks, but I fucking love the Frank
That's
game.
not true.
Game &
It's
Wario
just-
does suck. I did
it's
not like Game & Wario.
It's the worst WarioWare quote unquote game, but it doesn't suck. It's just like okay.
I only like the sketch game, the thief game, like the multiplayer games besides fucking the Mike one.
Yeah.
But I love all the multiplayer games. But then like the single player games, the only one I think I can actually say with an honest to God like sincerity in my voice that I actually like is Gamer.
Which
Is the one where like you have to play the mic when you basically just play WarioWare, but like have to simulate hiding your DS from your mom.
Yeah.
I just think it's harmless, and I think that they knew that they weren't going to do something like that again, which is like different than other Nintendo choices, where they're like, "Hey, let's take this bad idea and do it 17 more times." And at the very least, WarioWare was mature enough to say, "Okay, this didn't work. Let's stop doing this."
It's harmless. It sucks, but it's harmless. Like a weed. Well, weeds can actually be pretty deadly.
Yeah.
But like, well, I don't know.
Weed.
You know what it's like.
What?
What's called it? It's like getting a spam email. It's like this is annoying, but I can just delete it.
Yeah, it's true.
Game & Wario had
Depends on the
great
spam.
multiplayer games, and everything else sucked. And then Cloudberry Kingdom I never played, but I watched a lot of videos of Rooster Teeth playing Cloudberry Kingdom, and it looked like a really fun game, and I had no other 2013 games. So
Was Michael in any of the videos?
probably.
Michael.
It's to bounce off of that topic.
I know Gavin and Miles Luna.
And that's all I have to say.
Okay. And just for, because y'all are doing yours, 2013. What the fuck was I doing in 2013? I was a junior/senior in high school. I didn't do a lot of video game playing other than the usual. I'll play the Arkham one when it comes out. Yeah.
Just a second.
When you're not a gamer, it's hard to actually fill this bit. But
that's why you host.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm the personality that you all love, I hope.
Hell yeah.
Any other last minute things?
I mean, at the very least, we tolerate you.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you don't have to love me, but it helps. I have no hard out or crankiness, and I've got a steady supply of mostly lemonade, but a little bit of vodka to tide me over.
I thought you were gonna say methamphetamines, and I don't know why.
My mind was like,
my mind was about to on the microphone, or else the FBI is gonna knock down my door.
Like, for some reason, my mind auto-corrected him. He's like, he's gonna say methamphetamines. I'll beat him to the punch.
Yes, I know this guy.
Because Mick, you clearly know me as someone to use meth. Because Mick knows me the longest of you all. So
he's gonna say pussyhound. I'll beat him to the punch.
All right.
I will say that most of the gaming experience I had to this point in my life were playing the Flash games on CartoonNetwork.com. So
I love those, dude. Yeah. Oh, tell me which ones have you played?
It's almost 9 o'clock. We should probably
probably get started soon.
Real quick, the ones that I loved: Lunchroom Rumble with Ed and Eddie. Any of the old Cartoon Network Summer Resort ones where you got to move around. I love those.
Yes, Jordan.
The one where it's like you build your own go-kart and you smash into other people with Ed and Eddie. Mostly Ed and Eddie ones. The what do you call it? The
Ed-induced torture.
The jawbreaker launcher builder thing.
I did the wrestling one a lot.
That was a good one. And I also like the Billy and Mandy one where Billy is in space and it's like a platformer. He's got to get through a level or something. That's a pretty cool one too. Okay, enough tomfoolery. We should probably get into our first bracket.
I'm just so happy you said Summer Resort.
Yeah, those were cool. Those are underrated.
All right, sorry. Let's do this.
Okay, a very controversial first grouping here. This is The Last of Us versus Animal Crossing New Leaf. I'm sure you all have lots to say about this one.
I mean, this is going to be the best round in the whole bracket.
I think it will.
The timer ready. Hold up, I forgot. Hold on.
Yeah, we timed these for 8 minutes as per usual.
If you're okay with y'all, I'm sure you're already okay with it by now because you've been doing it. But, I will when I see that the time's getting to a certain point. If we have not switched to another game, I will stop you all to talk about another game and give it some time in the spotlight.
Because and any one of these two could hog most of the time because these are two very big games.
Depends on who we let go first.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you ready with the timer, Christian?
Yes, I am.
Okay. The Last of Us versus Animal Crossing New Leaf. We will start in 3, 2, 1. Have at it.
Pull it apart, Mick.
Can I start?
Sure.
Clanky,
so I understand that these two games are very, very different. In fact, I think we can all agree here that these are probably two of the most different games we could have gotten on this list.
Yes.
Depends on who you ask.
It depends on who you ask. That's very true. I won't deny that. But I think that Animal Crossing New Leaf is a very sentimental game to me. I really, really loved Animal Crossing, like growing up and everything. It was a game that I played like on the GameCube and the DS and everything for a really long time. I didn't really play the Wii one too much because I didn't like it. But then I remember like the 3DS one came out and I just got my 3DS and just so happens that Animal Crossing was coming out and I played that game like when it came out and everything and I loved it. I really dived deep into New Leaf and everything, and I feel like Animal Crossing is a hard game to convince someone who doesn't like the initial concept to enjoy, but if you do like Animal Crossing and it does click with you, it's a very different experience from any most other games, I would say, and that's pretty much all I have to say about Animal Crossing.
Okay.
Is there a lot of merit to playing New Leaf now that New Horizons exists?
I would say yes. in some way, I guess it depends on what you look for in an Animal Crossing game, right? So New Horizons is very customizable, which is excellent for the series, right? But like I feel like in that regard, New Horizons lost a lot of the Animal Crossing charm, and by that I mean like in the older games, you were able to like talk to the villagers or like talk to the store owners and shit like that, and they seemed a lot more human than artificial than they did in New Leaf, compared to New Horizons. Because in New Horizons, like when I play that, it's like all these villagers here serve a purpose. I talk to them and they give me shit and they ask me to do them favors. I keep seeing the same fucking 7 things of dialogue over and over again. But
Like,
in New
can
Leaf, I felt like I was talking to them more. I felt like they were actual like people that I was interacting with in you know, as far as as close as I could in like a video game setting. Anyway, Mick, yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask something because like this is something I noticed because I watched quite a few people play New Horizons, and something I noticed is that like I don't know, it kind of felt weird where like they would be like, I'm thinking of putting my house here. Do you have a better spot for me to put my house? Like it's like it didn't really feel like oh this is there so you can like customize your island rather than like
Yeah,
it felt very artificial of like this is for you if you want to, you know, for what you decide where to put the things so that they don't get in the way of your creative
Yeah.
vision or anything.
Right.
exactly. I think that Animal Crossing works best where you don't have a lot of control of what's going on at the beginning, but the more you play, the more hours you put in, the more like control you have of what's going on. And I feel like New Leaf does that incredibly well. And not only that, but again, you know, New Leaf, I feel like I'm talking to, you know, like people and shit, where like kind of like what Mick said, where like when you talk to a villager and like, I'm thinking of putting my house here. It's like they all say the same shit. When you have a new villager come in, they say, or like, you know, like, I don't know. I just feel like New Horizons is very cookie cutter. And if you're looking for customization and like being able to have like 100% control of everything, then New Horizons is like the game you're looking for. But New Leaf feels a lot more like I'm, you know, running this community, and I can't get everything the way I wanted to because I'm running a community, and that's not how real life works. But I'm still at the end of the day enjoying my time here because everyone is nice, everyone's having, you know, like, I don't know, it just feels more human, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Now would be a good time to talk about The Last of Us.
Yes.
Let's say good things first.
Yeah.
Because we need to give it a chance.
Yeah.
That's not how I thought it was going to
I'll
go.
step into the ring
don't.
for The Last of Us.
No, it's not me, Jordan. It's just, you'll see.
I mean, I won't even talk about like the story because I feel like everyone at this point like knows story and like story like debating it like is like.
Does anybody not know the story?
I don't know the finer details.
Instead, it is. I'll just talk like it is a very tense, exciting stealth action game. It's there's a lot of it puts you like in the mindset of like Survivor in that like you have limited resources, all of your resources that can be used for different things. So you're always like making choices, trying to gear up for like whatever next encounter is coming up next. The zombies, which they are zombies, even though they're just fungus.
They're zombies.
At a time when it seemed like a lot of games were focusing on zombies as like, you know, like the canned fodder, like, oh, like just how many zombies can you kill? Each time like you get into like an encounter like with the zombies, it's tense because there's a lot of like you have to stay quiet, or if you go loud, you have to be prepared to take down like the bigger threats because it's a lot of like one hit kills, so you have to be, again, it's like more like being very strategic and stuff like that. Yeah, and on top of that, it's a very good story.
Mick just dropped.
Mick just left.
Mick, no.
Oh, Mick is
Okay,
back.
good.
Hello.
You there, Mick?
Sorry about that. I hit the update button.
Yeah, I think you came back just in time for your thoughts.
What? Oh, I've got no thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure?
Thoughts, head empty.
I haven't played the game, so.
Fair.
Okay.
Well, we got a minute left. We're overtime. Who wants to say
Not
things?
not where I thought I saw this going, but I guess I've also played The Last of Us. I paid a guy who I was sharing housing with $20 for it. And I remember it grabbed me as like this is a genre of game that I don't really care about, and yet for some reason I really want to play this. I don't know if it's because Rockstar was attached to it. I don't know if because it was being talked about so heavily. I don't know if it's because the game trailer's review I saw painted it in a good light. I don't know, for whatever reason I ended up playing it and had a pretty good time with it. I am being reminded of some of the more frustrating elements of it. Like Graham said, you can die in one hit by zombies, and in a stealth game where getting caught instantly, I know Mick and I will have different opinions on this, but like instant consequences for being caught can be very frustrating for me, especially in a game that is designed around stealth. Can be frustrating, but when you pace yourself correctly through The Last of Us and you immerse yourself with its world and its characters, I think it is at its best. And I think it has some good set pieces. And as far as Animal Crossing goes, I haven't played an Animal Crossing game since Wild World, the original DS one. And this is just a guess, Clanky, but this is based off of other people's opinions. I feel like if I asked another person how they felt about the differences in AI between New Leaf and New Horizons, they may not say the exact same thing you did, because I don't
say,
get. Okay,
sorry,
go ahead.
No,
These will
I
be
was
your
gonna
last
say,
thoughts.
people who have never played an Animal Crossing game are typically and have played New Horizons are typically the people that are like, oh my god, the AI is so great or whatever. But I feel like every person I've seen that's like a fan of Animal Crossing, like, has pretty much like the same stream of thought that I do. And I hate to parrot other opinions or whatever, but it is truly what I feel.
Okay. I think at the end of the day, though, what you're saying comes down to like a difference in programming, but the core two games,
It's
I
not
feel
even
like are.
It's not even programming. It's more of like, imagine like in New Leaf, there's like 20 different dialogues you can see compared to New Horizons 10.
Like,
And
put it this way.
it's not at that scale, but it's like I don't know. I feel like I started seeing the same dialogue in New Horizons a lot sooner than I saw the same dialogue in New Leaf.
Like, put it this way, Taylor. I've not played the game. I've only watched people play it, and I've never played an Animal Crossing game or even watched an Animal Crossing game before this, and I kind of noticed the things he's talking about, so...
Mm-hmm.
I guess, okay.
Yeah.
If it's voting time, then I'll wait.
Well,
Alright,
we
you
were
can start
under,
the
and I
timer.
think we went over.
All right, so Last of Us versus Animal Crossing New Leaf. Jordan, who's starting the vote?
Clanky is starting the vote.
I think it's fairly obvious that I'm voting for Animal Crossing.
Okay. Graham.
Last of Us.
Okay, 1-1. Taylor.
I think if I was going to get back into Animal Crossing, I would probably play the newest one, because I feel like ultimately dialogue, that's something, but I feel like the content is still similar enough that I would want to play the one with like the more updated. So I feel like between that and I also like probably am not going to become an Animal Crossing guy again because of the commitment. While I played and enjoyed The Last of Us, so I'll say The Last of Us.
He has things to do. He can't get caught up with this.
So 1.
Well, I have to play it every day.
No, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't saying that ironically. I was saying that legitimately. You have things to do with your life.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 2-1, Christian.
I have never played The Last of Us. I have played Animal
Mm.
Crossing New Leaf, and I enjoyed my time with it. And I don't know. I always try so hard, but it's so hard to care about The Last of Us. It's so hard to care. So I'm going to give mine to New Leaf.
Okay, and
Oh
Mick?
my god!
I was gonna vote for New Leaf anyway.
Oh my god!
But that's
It's okay.
3.
That's more because I totally understand Clanky's criticisms, and I'm with Christian. Ever since The Last of Us was ever since I first heard about The Last of Us, like I remember hearing about The Last of Us and people talking about how great it was, and I'm like, I don't really care. And then like 3 months later, I heard The Last of Us, is getting remastered and re-released, and I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's fine. It's not my favorite thing on this bracket, but I do know that I like it more than New Leaf.
That's
Okay.
fair. Listen, Animal Crossing is not for everyone. I just thought that everyone here did not like Animal Crossing, and I was going to be a 1-4 vote.
No, I knew from the very beginning how this one was going to go.
Really,
Yeah.
I really thought that
Yeah.
Animal Crossing was losing. I thought that Animal Crossing was.
I
for
knew
sure
that
losing.
you and Christian were going to go New Leaf, and I knew that even if Mick prefers that genre, he's never voting for The Last of Us.
I'm surprised you thought I would go New Leaf, considering I'm not an Animal Crossing guy, honestly.
That's why I thought you were going for The Last of Us.
Because-
Christian was a wild card for me.
To be fair,
'cause
Christian did word that as if he was gonna say, The Last of Us.
This group will always favor the weirder, wackier, more, instead of the more serious game.
Frog fractions.
I mean, hang on to that because we're about
Okay.
to.
Yeah.
We're about to.
Okay.
One of my favorite things on here is about to get trashed, and
Oh, okay.
I'm not. I'm depressed.
I won't say trashed, but we'll
No,
discuss.
but it won't. But we'll see what happens.
This is Guacamelee versus Bioshock Infinite, a game I have definitely heard of versus a game I have never heard of. You have 8 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Have at it.
Shall I paint you a picture, Jordan?
I know what Bioshock Infinite is.
I know, but you don't know what Guacamelee is, and that's
okay.
that's the more fun statement.
Hey,
Okay.
actually, do you mind if I just talk about everything I don't like about Bioshock Infinite?
Who has Bioshock Infinite on their list?
I do.
Okay.
Well, we
I
both
guess,
did.
No. I'm voting for Bioshock Infinite because I've never played Guacamelee and I love Bioshock Infinite. I just thought it'd be fun to make it a bit fair and me to just list the things I don't like about it.
I'll let Taylor go
Okay.
first, and then Mick can go.
Yeah,
Alright,
cool.
What's Guacamelee?
All right, so you are Juan, and all you want to do is be with the mayor's daughter, but she is kidnapped by the evil Carlos Calaca. And so you need to don a luchador suit and also earn the ability to turn into a chicken and go on a Metroidvania-style quest to save her. And during the process, you break a goat man's statues. He gets really, really upset about it. You have this awesome beat 'em up combat system, amazing platforming challenges. Cactar makes a cameo in it. There's tons of great gaming culture appreciations littered throughout this game. It's so it's so thematically consistent with itself. Like, I constantly feel in this game's world. The combat is so smooth and grappling feels amazing. When you do platforming challenges like running up walls and dodging shit, it translates so well between combat and smooth platforming challenges that no moment feels dull. They make fucking Mario references. They make fucking Final Fantasy references. The music is solid. It's such a good game that nobody has played. And it's just, like, I remember I played it and I knew I was going to have a good time, but I didn't think I would have this good of a time. And then they made a sequel and that was just as good, if not better. And it's like, it's co-op so you can play with a friend. Fucking Guacamelee is so good. And I hate that Bioshock Infinite is going to beat it.
I mean, you definitely talked it up for the record.
Yeah.
Very passionate about this one. And Clanky, thank you for even honorably mentioning it.
Well,
Thank
I'll
you.
discuss when it's my turn, but I'm gonna wait.
I would
Right.
say it's Mick's turn now.
Yeah, so I just want to say, I love Bioshock Infinite. I think, personally, I think, this is weird to say because no one else I think in the world shares this opinion. I think Bioshock Infinite's gameplay is the best thing about it. Like, its
I
story...
agree with you.
Honestly,
I agree
yeah.
too.
No one thinks this, right?
I no, I like the story.
I think the story is, how should I put this?
Rip it off slow.
There's absolutely no fucking point to the plot.
I agree. That I do agree with.
I agree too.
Like, it sets up like it's good. So it does a few things. First off, it sets up it's going to be a fun parallel world
Should
time
we
travel story.
Should we just check if anyone cares?
I care, actually. Sorry.
Oh, no, don't worry. I'm not going to get into it. it sets up that it's gonna be like a fun parallel world time travel sort of story. It really doesn't bother with that at all. Like it has like maybe one or two bits where plays a major role. For the most part, it's just set dressing. All right, it seems like it's gonna have something, like major important to say about like American like exceptionalism and like that's like sort of like American patriotism or something. It's also just set dressing. It honestly could not give a shit about its themes. And that's the weird thing, because everyone talks about that. I actually don't think it's like it really has almost not. It's just set dressing. The gameplay though, the gameplay is actually some of them like it's one of the most fun games I've ever played. And here's the thing. I took a piece of advice when I first booted up the game, which is play the game on hard.
I do remember you having this argument.
And the reason why is because when you play the game on hard, you are like, because the game gives you, and like the first Bioshock does as well, the game gives you a bunch of tools. Like a bunch of tools. When you play the game on hard, it forces you to use all of them, and it's some of the most fun I've ever had in the game. Of having, of having to constantly, like, in order to survive, having to constantly call in Elizabeth to pull things from tears, having to constantly switch out weapons, forcing me to use different weapons, forcing me to use the different vigors or whatever they're called, and the best bit, forcing me to jump around on the sky rails everywhere, which is quite possibly the most fun I've had in a video game.
The sky rails are very fun to use.
Yeah.
Like, probably better than the ones in Metroid Prime. So
it's the closest.
Yes.
It's the closest it's the closest I have ever come to feeling like I'm on a wooden roller coaster in a video game. And you all know how I feel about wooden roller coasters.
There is a very good juggle in Infinite about always being on the move, kind of like the new Doom, like how you're constantly.
Yes, exactly. Like, and that's why that's the thing I loved about playing it on hard, is because it felt in a lot of ways almost like you're playing an old-fashioned shooter like Doom, that sort of thing. And so yeah, again, the story, and I obviously I'm not going to spoil it for Christian, but like it has some nice beats, but like the villain has almost no motivation, and he's not like, he doesn't actually do anything, and this is very clearly a game, and like they're enemies that were supposed to be throughout the game, and then they're not. They're only in one level. The game is very clearly went through a development hell, and that they had big ideas and then had to abandon them just to get the game out the door.
Nick, I'm gonna say this: I sent some of your criticisms to Sarah, who loves this game, and she is typing.
Okay.
I will say, Christian, to your being able to go into this blind. While I understand where Mick is coming from, I'll say that Mick is probably not. I imagine, I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying there are probably people who would heavily disagree with those statements about the story. So you could go into it with either mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with Taylor in that sense.
Clanky, did you have more to say?
I just have one thing to say. Guacamelee is a game that I actually played through with my dad. Not fully,
awesome.
But it's a game that me and him played through a lot because he got the Xbox Xbox One, right? Yeah, Xbox One. He got the Xbox One, and Guacamelee came free with it because he got like some deal with it or whatever. And we played through like a lot of it together. And I remember like I have like good memories of me and him like going through and going like, oh, that's a Mario Bros reference, or like, oh, that's a Mega Man reference or whatever. Like I like hold those fond memories a lot. It's just so unfortunate that Guacamelee got paired with Bioshock Infinite, because I as much as I love Guacamelee, I just love Bioshock Infinite that much more. I remember like it was one of those games that like it was spring break of 2013 or maybe 2014, whenever this game came out, like whatever the next spring break was.
I mean, it's 2013. This is the 2013.
No, I know, but like if this came out in like, November or something, it wasn't spring break of 2013 that I played this,
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So like whatever the next spring break was, I remember I got this game and I was like, I'm gonna play through this whole game during spring break, and I did. And I did it in like, it was like, I don't know, it was like a nice sentimental moment for me, and I remember really enjoying the story and everything back then. And then like as I've gotten older, I kind of have agreed with Mick a little bit, to a sense, not 100%, but like more like 50%.
It's really hard for
the
me to
gameplay-
articulate my criticisms without spoiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. But I will say that like when Mick says the gameplay of Bioshock Infinite is like that good, he's 110% correct. It is that good.
I want us to go to voting, but I want to give Graham a chance to talk.
I can't really add that much to it. Like most of the things that like I enjoy about it, like I also like, yeah, like story's fine. It has one of my favorite Troy Baker's lines because he just delivers a very earnest. Elizabeth, why is your mother a ghost? Like,
Yeah.
it's such like.
Oh, actually, I have to say the one of my favorite like scenes in any video game is the opening scene with "He doesn't row."
No, he doesn't row.
Yeah.
Which some of you might recognize as the bit that I edited into the Mario Party playthrough for Cactus Arcade.
That's where that comes from. I was like, where the fuck did you get that?
No, he doesn't row. I see what you mean.
Oh my fucking god. Alright, so I guess we can move on to voting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for the record, Sarah says, listen, man, it's not airtight, but overall, it's still great.
So
yeah,
this is a battle for a different day. This is a battle for a different day.
That is a true statement. I'll give you that.
And also, she's still typing. So while she types, we might as well vote. Yeah, literally.
Listen, Jordan, no matter what happens, it's going to get talked about again. So
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I know. Clanky, of these two, where are we going with it?
It's Bioshock.
Yeah.
You dick.
One.
Listen, if it was
It's okay.
any other game,
It's okay, Clanky. I forgive you.
The Graham.
Bioshock.
That's 2. Taylor.
It's already lost. Listen, I just will say, I think Bioshock Infinite's gameplay is good, and I'm not a first-person shooter guy, but by that same definition, I don't think it's as amazing as you guys are making it out to be. Guacamelee.
Okay, 2-1. Christian.
It was actually very close for me between these two games, and I tried to envision in my head which one I would have more fun with, and it was so close. But Mick's statement about Bioshock Infinite being one of the most fun games he's ever played sold me on it.
Guacamelee is one of the most fun games I've played.
But
yeah, Mick doesn't like things.
The way Mick describes...
Mick doesn't like things.
It's true. I don't like things. That is an objectively true statement. There are, in fact, things I don't like.
The first thing he talked about were the things he didn't like in this game.
But then he described the vigor system and how you have to use all your items to do this, and that.
Christian, in Guacamelee, you break an old man's goat statues, and they're called Chuzu statues.
I mean, that's great, but I haven't played either of these games, and Bioshock Infinite seems cooler.
You like Metroid.
There's a Star Wars reference.
That's 3-1, and
That's
Mick, I think I know who you're voting for.
Yeah.
Am I really the
I have
only
nothing
one who voted for it? I thought I would at least get 2. Oh.
And honestly, I have nothing against Guacamelee. Like, this is not. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it really
know.
is just the fact that
I
Guacamelee
know.
got paired with Bioshock. That
Yeah.
is
I'm really interesting to see how things shake up Last of Us with Guacamelee.
Listen, none of you have done anything wrong.
Yeah.
I'm
So
I'm just very hurt.
Bioshock Infinite advances, and Guacamelee Avocado.
Avocado.
So next,
Oh,
we
don't get
have
started.
something of a Graham tussle, I think.
No, actually, no.
Well, one of these was one of your compromises that got
GTA 5 was
swept
the
out.
compromises, so
Yeah.
that
And-
should tell you.
I mean, this should be an interesting one regardless.
Yeah, no, I also can't find it. Who put in GTA 5? Was it
It was
Graham?
Graham.
It
Yeah,
was
okay.
yeah.
I
I
put
put in
Black
GTA 5, and he originally put in Assassin's Creed, but then that was when it was wrong. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, so it's Graham versus Mick, but mostly Graham versus Graham, because every battle is Graham versus.
I mean, it doesn't need to be Graham versus Graham. The fight between Graham and Graham has already been won, and it's Black Flag because Grand Theft Auto 5 was one of his compromises.
Right.
Yeah.
But every day, Graham is fighting with Graham.
Yeah.
Inside of you, there are 2 Grahams. One is
a
Graham. The other is
The other is
Graham.
Graham.
You are Graham.
I think
let
you
me talk
guys.
about GTA 5.
think
It's
you got
Grand Theft Auto 5
Grand
against
Theft Auto
Assassin's
5.
Creed.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Grand Theft Auto 5 against Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Grand.
You have 8 minutes. Tussle when ready. 3, 2, 1. Go for it.
So I'm only gonna talk about like GTA 5 like single player, just because I feel like the multiplayer is its own like separate like beast of like things. Even though yeah. GTA 5 I think is really like the first time, like I'll be clear, this was my first GTA game that I owned and like played through, because like my parents hated GTA and I got this
Understandably.
I had a friend who got GTA 5 for free with their PS4. They're like, hey, do you want it at all? I traded them my copy of For a Second Son, which we were gonna trade it back, but then For a Second Son I got for free in PS Plus, and either way, this is just a very fun game to just like, you can just like screw around, do whatever, but also I just enjoyed the story of it. I liked all it's just a crime drama. Like, it didn't really, there is no like one big all-encompassing like just this is a GTA 5 story. It's just a lot of just, here are these characters living in this insane world, this is what happens to them. If you want to like go on the GTA 5 rampages, now you have a character that can canonically do that. I loved the heist and all the little setups. I thought they were really fun. And yeah, that's my GTA 5 experience.
Cool.
Versus.
Yeah, so Assassin's Creed Black Flag is probably one of the best Assassin's Creed games, because it has totally given up on the Assassin's Creed premise. They gave up on the main plot. They basically gave up on the main plot of like, okay, no one gives a fuck about Desmond Miles and he's dead now, so we can just move on. But we can't actually move on because it's one of the ISPs of our game, so we'll shove it in somewhere. And just for the most part, it like the whole assassin stuff. Honestly, the game could not give a shit about it. It's just a fucking pirate game. It's a pirate game, but they know it is just a lot of fun. For some reason, the ship combat is way more fun than it was in Assassin's Creed 3, and I don't know why, because it's almost identical. But for some reason, it's just more fun, I guess, recontextualized. It's kind of the height of like before Assassin's Creed changed their their combat system and climbing system. Like, in many ways, Black Flag was kind of the height of it. Like, they knew what the fuck they were doing, and like they weren't trying anything new. They're just like, let's just make a fucking pirate game. It has almost no connection to the grander Assassin's Creed storyline. The plotline is basically a treasure hunt, which is fun. It's the way it handles its real world characters feels real and not like, hey, here's a fun cameo of X character. I'll say it this way: when Niccolo Machiavelli shows up in Assassin's Creed 2, it kind of feels like you're watching like a movie, and suddenly they're like, hey, it's celebrity guest.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it feels.
Machiavelli!
Like, it kind of feels like, Christian, if you remember in Chef, when Robert Downey Jr.'s character shows up.
Yeah.
Like, it's great, and I love it there,
Robert
but it's clear they just did this so they could get Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Same thing with Dustin Hoffman, kind of.
Yeah, I guess so. I actually understood Dustin Hoffman. Like, Dustin Hoffman's character, he was there for multiple scenes, and he had a role to play and whatnot. But, like, Robert Downey Jr., it's like, no, this is just a cameo.
Yeah.
But anyway... But, like, it makes... The way they contextualized everything for Assassin's Creed 4, like, it all makes sense. And, what's going on? It's just a fun game. And, like, it was just at the point where they made a sandbox, and the sandbox felt genuinely big without filling it with a bunch of shit I didn't care about.
That I agree with, because this is the first Assassin's Creed game that I actually, like, did the side content with.
Yeah.
Whereas in every other Assassin's Creed game, I felt like every 5 steps was this worthless thing.
Yeah, and I think I know the reason why. I think it's because the overworld is mostly fucking water, and
Yes.
so they don't feel pressured to fill it with garbage.
Well, I mean,
Like-
they do, but it's more spread out.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I mean. Is that there is a
Whale Captain.
That's the thing. Like, you'll get into ship fights, but otherwise, and the things you steal from those ships are their own thing. But for the most part, like, it's not like, it doesn't feel like, oh, I've got to go over here and do this. It's like I do, but I have to go to this island. But then once that island's done, I never have to come here again, and it's not like I have to worry that, like, oh, I've missed an inch of things. It's like, no, because everything that matters is going to be on a fucking island, so you'll know when you see it. Except for like the 4 legendary ships, but there's got to be something like that. So like yeah. Also, it's really fun to turn your entire ship crew into skeletons. That's fun.
You can do that.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Oh.
Thanks to the game, I can now sing a number of sea shanties by heart, which is great because they're one of the few songs I can sing because they're not designed for people who know how to sing. They're designed for people who don't know how to sing, which means I can sing them.
Perfect.
I will say, I feel as though you can make the argument that we're debating what some people consider to be the best Assassin's Creed versus what people consider to be the best Grand Theft Auto.
Mm-hmm.
So it could come down to which franchise do you prefer?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
big
I
What
don't
thing
know if
about
I
it.
necessarily say that Assassin's
Well,
Creed 4 is the best Assassin's Creed game.
No, but what I'll say is it's the best Assassin's Creed game for people who aren't huge Assassin's Creed fans.
Yeah, and it's weird because I was a huge Assassin's Creed fan, and now I'm not. And I would say that Assassin's Creed Black Flag is sort of one of the best ones. I'm actually not sure about that. It's hard to say because it's like it definitely like I totally understand what you mean. Is like it's the best Assassin's Creed game that's not an Assassin's Creed game. Like I would recommend this to someone who's just like I want a pirate game. It's like no, there's no better pirate game than this one.
This is actually a really tough one for me though because I
We'll
feel
make
like
your thoughts, the final thoughts, and then we will vote.
I just it's difficult to put this one into words. It's just like one of the things I've realized about my relationship with GTA is that I've realized recently that I feel like I look at GTA the way I look at Call of Duty, only I like GTA, but I feel like
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same kind of thing where it's like this is like a game franchise like for people who don't really play games, people who do play GTA just to play GTA, and they don't treat the game seriously. They just want a fucking killing simulator, and they fucking want to take the hook. You know, they want to take the baseball bat and beat the hooker, and it's really funny. And it's
But
like
the thing about that though, Taylor, is that even the people who are gamers, like that's Scott the Waz's favorite thing about Grand Theft Auto.
yeah,
So
but
it's
Scott the Waz is a real gamer.
Did you just say Scott the Waz isn't a real gamer?
How
That's
dare
fucked
you?
up.
that is
That's
like
blasphemy.
not only like so.
It's
I'm not
such
gonna
a
say it's
phrase.
I'm not even
wait,
gonna say it's fucked up. It's just objectively wrong.
It's such a phrase.
No, I'm sorry.
Guilty.
No, this
Guilty.
gets no. This isn't. That's not true. I don't really mean that, Scott. It just gets uploaded to the internet, and Scott the Waz fucking.
Well,
He's
I
gonna
know.
be like,
I
"Hey,
know how-
Scott here, Taylor, let's fight."
No. I don't really mean that. I just
I'm gonna kick you up and against a curb in the street.
That's not. a
I've never
bad
watched Scott the
Waz.
Waz. I think that's how he
It's
sounds.
not bad for never
it's
watching
not.
him.
Yeah, I mean,
Taylor, has this ever happened to you?
all right. Look, the point is like I'm just like, you know, you guys should vote first for this one. I need to think a little more.
Yeah,
And
Clanky
goes
goes first.
Is it me?
Yeah, it has been you, so yeah.
Okay, good to know. I have never played an Assassin's Creed game in my life, and I have played a Grand Theft Auto game. So I think, and I did enjoy playing Grand Theft Auto, I should say. So I feel like just out of the fact that I haven't played Assassin's Creed, I have to give it to Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, that's one. Graham.
I'm just gonna like very briefly, just kind of like very briefly cover the story, like not go into any specifics. Like Assassin's Creed 4 is the Red Dead Redemption of pirate games. in that it's about the end of the golden age of pirates in the way that Red Dead Redemption was about the end of the Old West. And there's a very beautiful scene at the end.
Here's the health too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going against that CB4 Black Flag.
Okay, tied up. Taylor.
Let me just, if it's okay, I'd like
Come
to
back
hear
to
where this goes.
All right. Christian.
So I have played Grand Theft Auto 4 and Assassin's Creed 2. That's where I'm basing all of my knowledge off of. Still not a fan of stealth games. Sorry, Mark of the Ninja from last time. And Grand Theft Auto 4, I actually had a lot of fun being a fucking maniacal, awful human being.
So you're going with GTA?
Yeah.
right.
I did have a lot of fun with GTA, so I will give it the point.
I'm
It's
voting
2-1.
Assassin's Creed 4, so Taylor doesn't have to think if he doesn't.
You know, listen, it's weird because Assassin's Creed 4 is ranked in my top 200, and I forgot to rank a GTA game. But, like, if I had to decide which franchise... I mean, I played Assassin's Creed 4 with the intention of never having to play another Assassin's Creed afterwards. I'll still play the next Grand Theft Auto. I think I like the modern setting of Grand Theft Auto better than a historical setting of Assassin's Creed. So I'd probably like GTA 5 more.
All right.
Nice.
So does that mean GTA 5 wins? Mick, did you also just do Assassin's Creed 4?
Yeah, I voted for Assassin's Creed 4.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So 3-2 GTA 5.
But but 4-1.
Oh,
Did
No,
I count
I
wrong?
can't count.
Well,
Wait.
I'm sorry, did
I
anyone
thought
else
Graham
but
and Mick voted for Black Flag.
Oh, I thought
We did.
Graham voted
Yeah.
for... Oh, I'm sorry, Graham. I thought you voted for GTA. I'm
No.
sorry.
It was an honorable mention.
Sorry. I don't know why I don't know, because you were talking about the characters of GTA first, and then you started talking about the story of Assassin's Creed, and I thought you were still... Okay, sorry.
Banishment.
I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody.
You're
No,
fine.
it's
You're
okay.
fine.
Oh.
It's
Taylor, come. Oh,
Come
what am I saying?
back.
Taylor, come back.
You can
We
blame
can blame it all
on
on
me.
Mick. I'm sorry.
How is it my fault?
Because you
it's
don't like
not.
things.
It fit into the song.
All right, I'm gonna submit this score.
Okay.
I was
So-
not expecting that.
So we move on to the next bracket, which is, if I'm not mistaken, a battle between Taylor and Taylor. It's Rayman Legends versus Legends of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. So, 2 Taylor picks. All right, at the ready. I can only assume who's going to go first, but at the ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'd like to go first.
Oh, not Taylor. All right.
No,
Cool.
I like to say that right now, Rayman Legends seems like really, really cool, and it seems like it's probably one of the best 2D platformers that may exist in our time. And while The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds might be one of the best Zelda games, I'm not sold on it yet. So if you're gonna sway me on anything, Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds fans, if you want my vote, you're close, but you're not quite there yet.
I'm torn, Christian, because I want to sway you on A Link Between Worlds, but I also don't want you to vote for it. Because, Jesus, guys, both of these games are so good. And they're such peak examples of their own franchises. I think the difference between the two is you can still have even better Zelda games than A Link Between Worlds, but when it comes to 2D Zelda, I don't think you can find anything better than A Link Between Worlds, maybe. And I'm saying that with a 2D Zelda I like more than it. Because I like Phantom Hourglass a lot. But I know in my heart that if you want to be objective, A Link Between Worlds, it manages to capture everyone's nostalgia for A Link to the Past and utilize a gameplay function around it by having the same map, but by littering it with completely different secrets and objectives, giving you the freedom to explore the dungeons in any order. There is an amazing system where they got rid of arrows and bombs stock, and you instead have this universal magic meter, so you never have to worry about running out of gear. It's all about how quickly you use everything, so you have to ration the amount of time you put into everything. There's an item rental system, so instead of going and finding a a new item in every dungeon, you can get all of the items beforehand, which leaves the dungeons open to instead having much more valuable things that you can use to upgrade yourself, like armor enhancements and weapon enhancements. There's a ton of freedom with how you play this game. And that's not even talking about the gimmick of this game where you fucking meld your body into the wall and become a painting and use your painting self to navigate around any wall in the game. They built a whole mechanic out of all of the surfaces in the game and your ability to maneuver yourself around it. It's fantastic. Rayman Legends has a musical level based off Black Betty. It's the better game.
Bam-a-lam.
Look. Christian said this. Rayman Legends, if we're not counting the Donkey Kong Country games, Super Meat Boy, or Celeste, Rayman Legends is the best 2D platformer.
Mm.
There are so many things Rayman Legends does right. First of all, it's momentum, it's flow. It's a game that constantly has you on the move, which in a 2D platformer is an amazing sensation. They even, before the game came out, had daily demo challenges all based around momentum-based platforming, where you tried to get to the end of a level as fast as possible and leaderboarded yourself with each other. The secrets are so expertly hidden in such a way that they're difficult to find, but not so difficult that you can't find them all without a guide, which makes the sense of discovery so much grander. They hid 2/3 of the prequel to this game, Rayman Origins, in the game, so you can play 66% of that game in this game, so it's 1 2/3 of the game. And then to sum all of that up, at the end of every world, like I just said, they have these musical themed levels where you time your jumps and attacks directly to the tune of real life songs, and it's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in a game. You can fucking do it to Black Betty, you can fucking do it to a mariachi band of Eye of the Tiger, the fucking you know that song in Kill Bill, the one that goes whoa 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 whoa. That's
Yeah,
there.
the woohoo song.
It's fucking phenomenal, and the flow is great. The literal only thing that I don't like about Rayman Legends are the Murphy stages, which are these
They suck.
which are these touch-based like move platforms for Rayman to jump on. But if you play on a version that's not the Wii U, they're not even as bad. There's co-op.
They're
Legends
not as bad. They're still bad.
Yeah, but
Like, I played it on PC, and you can tell that this was meant to be a Wii U exclusive, and then they were like, no, let's put this on other consoles, too.
Wait, we want this game to sell.
Yeah.
that's why they had to stop making it a Wii U exclusive. Both of these games are so good, you guys. It's really crazy.
I open the floor to the rest of you three because I also have nothing to say.
I have only played Rayman. I've only played Rayman Legends. I play it with Kyle, and I just have to say I love Kung Fu. I hate Kung Fu.
Oh,
I love Kung Fu.
that's the multiplayer
I hate Kung Fu
portion of the game. For those who don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought he was just making up words like usual.
No, it's real. I don't know why, but it's real.
I said we needed a code word so I wouldn't have to say nonsense.
I'm on the opposite side of Mick. I've only played Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, and I'm a very, very big fan of 2D Zelda specifically. I love, I specifically love like the dungeon crawling and everything in 2D Zelda more than I do in 3D Zelda, which is kind of wild to say.
The pacing is different.
Yeah, but yeah, it's true. But I guess I just prefer what 2D Zelda has to offer, and I feel like A Link Between Worlds is not the one Zelda game, but like it's one of very few Zelda games that really gives you so much freedom in where you're going, and it's not like it's because of the whole what's his name, Ravio?
Yes.
Yeah, the whole Ravio system in the fact that he like lets you get items that you need and everything. Yeah, the item rental, that's what it's called. Thank you. But yeah, I just I prefer Link Between Worlds, but then again, I've never played Rayman Legends, so my bias is showing.
Does Graham have anything to add to either of these games?
I have played a few bits of Rayman Legends. I think if I play the demo Rayman Legends at Best Buy.
As usual.
I have Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds because it's on my Zelda. It's part of the Zelda list.
Because Graham collects Zelda games.
Yeah. Like I have something I have to do to get through working at Target.
He says while plugging Best Buy this whole time.
Yeah.
Where do
I
your
mean-
allegiances lie?
Go to
does-
Best Buy for electronics, Target for anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does anyone have any final thoughts? Because our time is up.
I'll say for this, if there's any way I can influence any votes, ultimately what you have to ask yourself is if you prefer a peak 2D platformer or a peak 2D action adventure game. You really can't go wrong here.
I hate
Okay.
I hate
I
video
love
games.
I'm glad we got that on record as well.
Yes.
Are we ready to vote? Any other last things to say?
I just want to clarify something. So
Yes.
when me and Kyle were playing Kung Foot, every time he scored a goal, I would say I hate Kung Foot. Every time I scored a goal, I say I love Kung Foot. And he started doing it too, and we would just go back and forth like that.
I hate
And so,
It
if
really
we ever
is
get us
that
in a room
simple.
together and one of us says, I hate Kung Foot, the other one's gonna go, I love Kung Foot!
Nick,
Yeah,
if I message Kyle the words "I hate Kung Foot," will he write back "I love Kung Foot"?
Almost certainly.
Oh shit!
Oh,
now I
good.
want to try it too, but not right now.
He probably
Alright.
won't if all of you do.
Yeah, then he'll catch on.
No. Yeah.
It'll be
he'll-
like, something is amiss.
So I have to wait like a week.
Yeah.
yeah, that's if I do it now.
Okay, the voting. Sorry, I had an out of body.
The voting?
Yes. Clanky of these two. What are we doing?
I am choosing Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds.
Right. That's one for that one. Graham.
I might have to give it to Rayman Legends because I've actually played at least
Okay.
some of it.
Yeah. All right. We're tied 1-1. Taylor.
Ultimately, I prefer 2D platformers to 2D action games. So Rayman Legends.
Rayman Legends has the edge. Christian, are you throwing it all the way over the top, or are you tying it up?
I thought about it for a while, and it's still Rayman Legends for me.
Wow.
Oh.
Mick for posterity.
Rayman Legend.
Oh,
4-1.
That is such a vote right there.
I mean, listen, these two again. This was also a very unfortunate bracket.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Sorry, I just forgot. Wait, did Grand Theft Auto 5 won? Sorry, I'm still confused about that.
So
Yeah, it did.
you
Only
and
me,
Graham,
voted for Black Flag?
yes,
Okay.
and then me, Clanky, and Taylor voted for Grand Theft Auto.
Okay. Sorry,
Moving.
I was equally confused.
Okay, anyway. We
All
just
right.
had two of Taylor's darlings square off, and now we have two of Christian's darlings squaring off.
Wow.
It is Papers, Please versus Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Battle of the Christian picks. 3, 2, 1, go for it.
Christian, would you like to confess something to this group?
I was gonna say it anyway. You didn't have to point it out. So first of all, I didn't play Papers, Please. Second of all, I'm gonna vote for Papers, Please.
wow, that's so based, and I respect it. I only say I respect it because Papers, Please is one of those games where, I mean, like, you can play it, and I recommend you play it. I think that's the best way to experience it. But if you watch it, you've pretty much played it. And I hate to say that it's like that because I think that, like, playing it is a very core part of Papers, Please and why I find it so enjoyable. But I can understand where Christian is coming from in the sense of he's basically I'm assuming you've watched through the whole game, so you've pretty much experienced the whole game.
Yeah, I've seen every ending. I've
It's a bit like Phoenix Wright in that regard.
yeah. Or like how I
No, you're
technically
wrong.
didn't
Playing Phoenix Wright is necessary.
didn't
No.
play Danganronpa.
Like, it's a better way to experience it, but like,
Yeah, it's like how I technically didn't play Danganronpa because I watched Clanky play through it and then made suggestions and stuff like that. But the reason why I'm voting for Papers, Please isn't exactly because I think the game is amazing, because I haven't played it. I do think the game is probably amazing. The reason why I am voting for Papers, Please is because I don't think Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is great.
I can agree with that too.
I did not have a lot of games for 2013. I was very limited in my choices, and
And gosh, then what are you going to say about Pikmin 3? Jesus.
I feel very similarly to Pikmin
We'll
3
get
that I
there.
do to Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon,
We'll
a
get to
sequel
Pikmin 3.
that I had a lot of hype behind, but ultimately fell through in a lot of areas.
Listen, he put Game and Wario in his honorable mentions. All right, I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah, that does speak volumes.
I
Put
was
X and Y in
strapped.
his honorable mentions. That means more to me.
I was strapped for choices, and in terms of any of the games that I had at least heard of in 2013, Papers, Please must have been one of the most interesting. I hate to use the term, but like avant-garde games that was really ever made during its time, you know? Like the idea of doing this sort of like, here's a game where you inspect papers. Yes.
Papers.
Please look at these papers and find typos. Give us money for this game, please. It sounds ridiculous, but it is one of those things that's so inherently interesting, and judging from the fact that so many people express how much fun the stress of the game can be, trying to keep your like family alive through this like hellscape that you're currently in, is nothing like Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, where you go from world 1-1 to 2-1 to 3-1, and you somehow, despite the fact that everything's a mansion, you still go to a desert world, a grass world, and an ice world.
It's the equivalent of a Jurassic Park movie taking place in the real world and then still going to a fucking island.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I will dispense my thoughts for now for other people to speak.
I agree with Christian 100% about Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I think that Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is like highly anticipated sequel to a game that I wanted to play, but I feel like it fell flat in a lot of regards because I enjoyed Luigi's Mansion 1 because I felt like I was exploring a haunted mansion. In Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, I feel like I'm just playing like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and they like try to like pretend that you can explore, but like as soon as, if I remember correctly, if you like try to explore like the later levels, like Professor Egad will be like, oh, don't go that way, we need to be going this way. So it's like, why are you pretending to give me the option if the option isn't there? It was just, to me, it's so obvious that the people who made that game didn't want to be making a Luigi's Mansion game, but they did anyway.
I just really quick question: is it worth? Like, is like Luigi's Mansion 3 like even worth it, or is it
Luigi's Mansion 3 fixes a lot of the problems that I have with 2.
So here's my thing. So can I say something about thing?
Mm-hmm.
Luigi's Mansion 3 has is a really fun game. It is not a Luigi's Mansion game in terms of the atmosphere that made the original so great.
Completely agree.
Like the original Luigi's Mansion kind of feels like the original Luigi Mansion kind of feels like an actual horror game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you swapped out the enemies for like other things, like you could like this would be an actual horror game.
Yeah,
Luigi
I agree.
feels like he doesn't belong, you know, and that's what makes the first game so great.
Yeah.
agreed.
Luigi Mansion 3 is, I think in some ways it is a better game, but does not have the same.
Okay.
It does the concept of 1 like better as far as gameplay and shit is concerned, but it does like atmosphere and that shit a lot worse than Luigi's Mansion 1.
Yeah, like Luigi Mansion 3 is like, okay, yeah, this is a Mario game where you play as Luigi fighting ghosts. Whereas the first one is like, no, this is Luigi going into a house with a dead baby in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And point being, Luigi's Mansion 3's existence and the fact that it is a good game really does completely nullifies the existence of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. So Graham, you never need to play Dark Moon.
Yeah, Dark Moon.
Okay.
Like literally, Luigi's Mansion 3 is like exactly what Dark Moon should have been as far as a sequel to Luigi's Mansion. If they wanted to take it in this more cartoony direction, it sucks that they did, but I think it I think it does everything Dark Moon does, but better.
Why did I put this on the list? What the fuck's wrong with me?
Because there's nothing else.
There's nothing else.
Luigi's Mansion, a bit pricey. I might emulate it.
That's valid. That's valid.
Totally valid.
Emulation is always valid.
I don't like Papers, Please.
I disagree so much.
I played Papers, Please November 2020. I played it for about 25 minutes, and then I stopped. It is not for me. It is not a for everybody game, and that is a
No, it's not.
that is a very important thing to say here. Is that
From the
not
sound of
not
Luigi mentioned
everybody?
Dark Moon isn't for anyone.
No. That is 100% true.
No,
Dark Moon isn't for anyone.
You're being vicious.
Here's the deal. I have played a little bit of the original Luigi's Mansion. If the ghost catching mechanics are the same in Dark Moon, then I would probably prefer Dark Moon to Papers, Please. That's how little I care about Papers, Please.
Jesus
They're
Christ.
not, if I remember correctly.
They're better than they are in 3, I think.
Listen, Papers, Please, narratively, I kind of get it. I find it a little more engaging. I think it's interesting. But the actual, and I understand this is exactly why people are into it, the fucking stress of having to furiously scour through your handbook to look for discrepancies in this short period of time to decide who gets to pass through. Glory to Arstotzka. It's like, I feel in a game where I am looking for logical discrepancies, to fucking pressure me with a time limit and the fucking penalty of my family dying of hunger, I can have no fun, because I don't feel like I'm going to take the time to try to figure things out. I'm going to furiously shuffle through shit and fail over and over again, because my brain does not have the power to keep up with the game. And so 25 minutes in, as soon as they get to the point where they're like, now you need to find contradictions in people's papers, I had already like fucked up so badly. I'm like, all right, you know what, I can stop here. This is not a Taylor game. Let me just say for the record, who is I forget,
by the way.
The man who created this game. What was his name?
What, Papers, Please?
Yeah.
John Papers.
Lucas Pope.
Lucas Pope,
please.
Let me just say, Lucas Pope many years later came out with a game called Return of the Obra Dinn, and that was much better. I think Return of the Obra Dinn captures the same kind of very unique to itself kind of gameplay that you don't really see, and I feel like a much more, in a less stressful way, and in a little bit of a more meaningful way to me personally. But Papers, Please is not a Taylor game, and I just do not like it.
Yeah.
You might be interested in checking out the game he made before Papers, Please.
Oh, did he make another one?
Yes, it was part of it. So he made it for a game jam. It's called the Republia Times, and it is in which you play an editor of a newspaper. It's Papers, Please, except rather than checking people's it's. Actually, I just realized I don't think you can play it anymore because it's a Flash game.
It might be on one of those Flash preservation things.
Quite probably.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna pull up the vote because I do have final thoughts, but I'll save them for when I vote.
Graham's turn.
Please. Papers, Please.
Okay. Taylor.
Lucas Pope looks like Aaron Hansen with a bigger mustache. I feel like I would probably, if I could get into Luigi's Mansion, I would probably still enjoy it more than Papers, Please. So.
Okay, so Taylor's just made this personal and is just insulting the game's creator now.
No, I'm not. The two statements were completely irrelevant to each other. I just wanted to say them both.
Dan Salvato has a stupid face.
I did not say he had a stupid face. I said he had a bigger mustache. That wasn't an insult.
Taylor is stinky.
It was
Papers,
an
Please.
observation.
The game creator's bum is ugly.
No. Taylor, you summarized it actually very well on your end. This Papers, Please is not a game for everyone. And it is a game not for a lot of people. And that's what I like about Papers, Please, is that it's not for everyone.
That's the best thing about Papers, Please. It discriminates.
As does Taylor, apparently.
And I'm like the king of accessibility in video. I want accessibility more than anything in video games, but I'm also cool with a game that wants to be purposely inaccessible. I wanted to make a game like that at one point.
I don't think that's the thing. I think it's just that Taylor just doesn't like the game.
Yeah, I think
I like games with like unique ideas like that, but like I don't.
That's what I'm saying.
One...
You don't like Papers, Please, though.
He doesn't like the creator's family, his mother.
Oh my God, guys! Scott the Waz is already fighting me now. Lucas Pope is going to come after me.
Taylor, you are making these enemies yourself.
And then somehow Aaron Hansen too, because you compared him to Lucas Pope.
And Aaron Hansen already knows how to fight. We know that.
Yeah.
He's
Anytime
fighting
you
Harley right now.
Taylor, anytime you vote against Papers, Please, your full address and IP address appear on screen.
So
Please,
to
no.
reiterate, Christian, you voted for Papers, Please.
Oh, I vote for Papers,
imagine.
Please. Luigi's mentioned Dark Moon makes me cry.
Yeah, so that's 2-1 Papers, Please. Mick.
Papers, Please.
That's 3-1. Clanky for posterity.
It's going to be Papers, Please.
4-1 Papers, Please. What did you do?
Detain.
My goodness, guys.
It's okay.
Oh,
Controversial.
my God.
I'm the one who said I think the boost formula sucks. So it's not like we're against controversial opinions in the game.
That's a controversial opinion.
I thought it was. You all got pretty upsetty spaghetti when I said that.
Boost formula.
When you said what? I'm sorry?
formula.
When I said the boost formula sucks and it's a bad game mechanic.
Yeah, that's wrong, but
Yeah.
you know.
So we're not opposed to controversial
you
opinions.
on the boost tech.
Can I just say,
Mother.
Christian, if you talk to any Sonic fan, like they'll say, yeah, it's not the.
Do they all sound like that?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yes, they
Yes, they do.
Nick,
They actually do.
I sound like that.
I'm a Sonic fan, and I will not say that. The boost formula was really fun.
Yeah, it was really fun, and I got old really quickly.
Look.
All right, that was like 2 yearlies ago. We'll move on.
Right. We move on next to a Mick versus Clanky matchup. It is Phoenix Wright, Dual Destinies versus Battleblock Theater. You have 8 minutes as usual. 3, 2, 1, go.
To call this a Mick versus Clanky mashup is almost it has to be an insult to me because
It's what it says on the card, Taylor.
I know. My point being, I would just like to reiterate that this is actually probably my favorite game on the bracket. I just know that there's only so many times I can talk about Ace Attorney, but Dual Destinies is so good, man.
Dual Destinies is a very good Phoenix Wright game. It is not my favorite. I don't think it's the worst though. I think that Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies does I think it does a very good job of getting the ball rolling the farther it goes along. I feel like it has trouble finding its footing in the beginning, but I feel like towards the end it manages to tell a very interesting and intriguing story. It's here because, like most other people, there were a few games I really, really liked that came out this year, and most of them, I struggled to fill out my honorable mentions, so Phoenix Wright just kind of came there. Battleblock Theater is another game, though, that I played, and I really, really do enjoy that, but I've never beaten it, and I don't really have the drive to want to play it anymore.
So I can't talk about the finer details of any Phoenix Wright game until I know that everybody here has played one. So that's probably will never happen during one of these Yearlies brackets. But what I will do is talk a little bit about how Dual Destinies is the Ace Attorney that kind of cemented my realization that Ace Attorney is in fact my favorite franchise of anything. When Dual Destinies came out, I made it a thing to go back and rewatch all of the cases of all of the previous games just to keep myself kind of in the spirit of Ace Attorney. And through doing that, and through seeing all of the cases a second time, I managed to find this newfound appreciation. By the time Dual Destinies was here and the game had finally jumped to 3D, the ways they transitioned were so brilliant to me in terms of how they handled its gameplay, its new characters, its continuation of a previous game that everybody was not as crazy about. Dual Destinies is like it takes a bit of a darker tone. It has the best prosecutor in the franchise, my opinion, not everybody's opinion, but my opinion. Simon Blackwell is this amazing fucking character who has all of these awesome character traits that I almost don't even want to spoil, but fucking the dude can fucking slice a feather with his hand. It's awesome. And there's a gameplay mechanic introduced in Dual Destinies where you analyze witnesses' personality traits and their emotions and try to find the inconsistencies in their emotions. And I feel like they carry the theme of that very well throughout the game up until its finale, which is one of the best finales ever. And let me just say, as an adult now who has experienced a large amount of storylines, it's very difficult to genuinely surprise or shock me with a twist. But I remember there was a moment in Ace Attorney when I realized something about the game that happened, and my stomach physically started hurting because I was so moved. I was scared by how moved I was, and it was the most amazing I've ever felt in any video game ever. I think the closest it's ever been matched was by Bioshock's big twist.
Oh.
And but this was the number one greatest twist to me at the time. I never felt this way again.
Dual sure it wasn't just like you had a bad batch of Buffalo Wild Wings or something?
No, Jordan. It was all this game.
Because your stomach turned, and that has its effect on you.
Trust me, I was fine. Dual Destinies is such a hugely influential game that redefined and recaptured my love for this franchise in the way that I don't think any other game can capture. This game is a fucking masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Battleblock Theater is so funny.
So Battleblock Theater
yes.
is Battleblock Theater is how would I describe it? It's a platformer.
It is, yes.
I would say
ask the question. It is definitely a platformer.
Yeah, it's a platformer puzzle game thing.
It's a puzzle platformer, yeah.
Yeah, it's puzzle platformer. That's the term I'm looking for.
It's a
puzzle platformer.
One thing you gotta say is the game's humor. But like it's genuinely funny. It's hilarious.
Will Stamper.
Yeah. But like I would say beyond that, it's actually just a lot of fun, and the game enables shenanigans. Like the amount of. So I played with Kyle because of course I fucking did. And I remember there were so many fucking crazy like things that was us constantly pushing each other into hazards. I don't even really know how to speak about this other than just say it's a lot of fun. It's funny and it's fun.
I should mention that I believe the cooperative experience is very different from the single-player experience. I think there are entirely different levels. I'm not positive.
I've never played the single player, so I actually have no idea. I've never wanted to play a single player.
Right, I did the opposite. I only played a single player, and I actually also had a marvelous time because I find that the way the game tests your multiple different platforming prowesses in ways that reward you with gems at the end, like the levels are very engaging in such a way that you have to, find these things, do it in this time, do it this way. And I had a very big knackering to collect all of the gems. I think I only didn't collect all the gems in the very last level. But I do remember, like, the gameplay I found much like I thought the gameplay was going to be just fine, but the gameplay was really, really good.
Yeah, no.
It's just completely in my mind shadowed by just how hilarious the cutscenes are.
Oh yeah, no, they're actually hilarious.
In fact, Jordan, I'm going to send you some after this because I think you're going to appreciate the humor.
Say hi to Hattie.
I'd like to give
There was a whale. It was really scary.
If I can find someone to play Battleblock,
genius.
I'd like to give a moment. Yeah. Actually,
if I can find, really quick, if I can find someone to play Battleblock Theater with again, I might consider it. Like I would
play with you, Clanky.
That game. Fair enough.
We both said at the same time. I'll play with Clanky.
Clanky Graham, did either of you want to add additional thoughts?
Ace Attorney has where I am right now in Ace Attorney, I'm still on case 3. I had to get back into it.
Which game?
Dual Destinies.
Oh, okay. So you're in the middle of a playthrough.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Bobby Fulbright. I like him. It's just I don't know how much I would compare him to Gumshoe or Emma Sky.
Yeah.
However, his theme, on the other hand.
Oh yeah, I didn't even touch on this game's music, which is so good, and because of the new hardware.
Yeah, I will say that if one thing I can definitely outright completely say is amazing in Dual Destinies, it is the music. The music is so good.
So, while Taylor hums out an amazing tune, why don't we do a little voting?
Yeah, we start with Graham, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Phoenix Wright, double D's.
Oof. Okay, then. Say more.
You said my name weird, so I
Could
didn't
it be?
fully
Has he
process.
forgotten his name?
No, I just Battleblock. I'll come back for you in the losers bracket. You know I have to give it to Dual Destinies.
Of course.
You
Christian.
don't know it's going to the losers bracket.
You know, I really should, by all account, pick Battleblock Theater because it was made by the same people who made Castle Crashers, which is in my top 20 favorite games, and I love Behemoth. I love everything they do, and I have no doubt that the game might be maximum amounts of fun. But when I played the first Phoenix Wright game, it was fun and a little bit more. So I gotta give it to Dual Destinies on this one.
Yeah. Then that's okay. Yeah. Then Mick. Sorry, I forgot where I was.
Battleblock,
Yeah. And Clanky.
I feel like if I played Battleblock Theater all the way through, I feel like I would give the vote to Battleblock Theater. But since I haven't, and since I barely played it, I feel like I am obligated to give it to Dual Destinies.
So that's 4-1 Dual Destinies. I'm honestly surprised that it's a game with the word dual in it that isn't a Yu-Gi-Oh game, and Graham voted for it.
Did I spell dual right? I might have spelled dual wrong.
No, it's okay. No. I was making a joke
correctly
on the dual uses of dual.
Oh, like dual is in like duo destiny. Yeah. Okay.
I was making it funny.
Yeah, no, I was concerned for myself. I was like, what?
No, you're good. I was the one who was erring. The next round.
I can't wait for this one.
Refresh myself on who put these in.
This is Christian. And
no. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Sorry.
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 I was looking at the things. I was looking at the entries bracket.
My apologies.
You're good. You're wonderful.
You're wonderful.
No,
You're breathtaking.
You're breathtaking.
I did the Keanu line.
Keanu,
you
epic
also made a
wonky
funny.
wonky.
All right, this next bracket is a Mick versus Christian battle.
I think it's gonna be Mick versus Christian, but Christian is committing seppuku. Again.
It's Pikmin 3 versus Warframe. 3, 2, 1. Have at it.
So I'd like to start by saying something really quickly.
Yes.
I didn't order my games in terms of quality. I probably should in the future if that's what we were all doing. I wasn't. Oh, okay. I'll order my games in quality from now on. And I can encourage all of you to do the same if you can. I won't be like upset if you don't. But Pikmin 3, I actually like this game.
Good.
And it's like I actually enjoy my time with this game. But when I first played it, I didn't. I actually thought it was really disappointing, and I figured out the problem with Pikmin 3. As opposed to every other Pikmin game. This Pikmin game is the one... Why am I talking about, like, this? I should be talking about why it's, like, really good. This Pikmin game is the most beautiful-looking Pikmin game that exists. It has, probably the most balanced roster of Pikmin, and it really hammers home on one element of the Pikmin franchise that is like Miyamoto's favorite part, obviously, is the multitasking in Pikmin, which was not my favorite part, but was something that was elaborated a bit in Pikmin 2, which I did enjoy. And in Pikmin 3... Oh, yes, you go.
Sorry, really quick. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Pikmin 3 is probably... if you ask me on one day, Pikmin 3 might be my favorite Pikmin game. If you ask me on another, it might be Pikmin 1. But I really enjoy Pikmin 3. I think that it does the Pikmin 1 mechanic of, like, needing to survive. It has, like, good intentions with it, but the problem with it is that it comes across as a little bit too easy. But ultimately, that doesn't bother me too much. I do enjoy, the survival aspect that it does throw at me. And I think that, it's a game that if you have fun, like... planning shit out and multitasking and shit, it's like a really, really fun game.
Okay, I was just going to say, because Christian, I'm mostly with you about all the strong points of Pikmin 3, so I don't have a ton to say, but I'll say, in contrast to Clanky, I feel like the challenge of Pikmin 3 comes both with what specifically you're doing and what challenges you want to set for yourself. In other words, I found the bosses in Pikmin 3 a little more challenging than the exploratory aspects, especially towards the end.
Agreed.
And I feel like I've heard that this is the one that is most accessible to the goal of trying to not let a single Pikmin die in such a way that it's still challenging to do. but it feels a little easier to pull off in such a way that the contrast may be the best in this game. This is just what I've heard. I've failed to do it in all 3 Pikmin games, but if I had to try it, I'd actually probably try it in 1 because it's shorter. But but I think 3, between the multitasking, I think it also just has some of the best environmental designs. The multitasking I think is really what just constantly working towards multiple goals at once I think is best utilized in 3, and that's probably why 3 is my favorite. I really got to go back and play it again, honestly. I'll play. Yeah. Also, Clanky, I noticed you didn't say Pikmin 2.
Well, Clanky's not a huge fan of Pikmin 2.
I still like Pikmin 2, don't get me wrong. It's still a Pikmin game, and it does everything correctly as far as the Pikmin game is concerned. It's just, I don't like the dungeons of Pikmin 2, and that's a big relying factor in your enjoyment in Pikmin 2.
We're not going to get into this conversation.
We're not talking about Pikmin 2. I just wanted to hear his thoughts briefly.
Fair enough.
It's okay. Let's let Nick talk about Warframe.
All right, so who the fuck knows what Warframe is?
No,
I do.
Frame.
Oh, Graham knows as well, so you can both
Okay.
talk about it.
Warframe is a game in which you play as a space ninja.
Oh.
So first off, I just want to say, Taylor, don't play the game. Do not play it.
Okay.
Damn.
I
This
appreciate
game,
your candidness.
playing the game alone is not fun in the slightest. It's kind of one of those games you need to play with other people. It is a pseudo-online game, kind of similar to how Destiny is, where it's like you queue up and go into like sessions with other people, but it's not like an MMO. It has probably one of the most ethical free-to-play economies in video games.
Nice.
And its storyline is bonkers. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything in case any of you guys want to play it, but let me put it this way. You know how you talked about the twist coming in...
Ace Attorney?
Yeah. Warframe...
You mean in a way that it shakes you?
Is that it has such an amazing twist. It's probably, quite possibly, one of the best twists in gaming, right up there with Bioshock. But the bizarre... And the game changes fundamentally how it plays after that twist. But the bonkers thing is, it's like 30 hours into the game.
I just want to iterate for the record. The twist I'm talking about is it was a very personal twist to me. I don't know that it's going to capture everyone the exact same way.
Well, I'll talk about Bioshock then, certainly.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, and the game is absolute nonsense. Like, I don't even know how to talk about it. It is literally just like, one of the things I don't like about the game is that it's like, it's the fantasy of being a space ninja, but like it's more in the sense of like you're more John Wick than like Sam Fisher. Like, there's not a lot of sneaking. It's kind of just you are so overpowered mowing through enemies upon enemies. There are, like, you can try to play the game stealth, but it's way more work than it's worth. That's my biggest problem with it. But otherwise, it's so much fun. Yeah, it has what's it called again? It has some of the most fun, like, parkour type stuff in the game, where you can like run along walls. The game is actually kind of famous for having like this one overly complicated input to do like a jumping, spinning, rolling, like air slash move that requires you to use like, there's like 6 keys that you have to press in order to do this move. It's like Control Shift up or W, and then like both mouse buttons or something. Like it's a space bar. Like it's an insane input. Anyway, and you basically the thing is, you play as these space ninjas that all have like these. You have a bunch of different suits. You can they're a bunch of different, like, they're called, they are the titular Warframes, and they all have different crazy abilities. With all their own fun quirks. I mained a frame called Loki, who had the ability to turn invisible, teleport, and steal people's weapons and give them cattle prods instead. What's it called again? But then I also played another one who's basically a pirate that can turn into puddles. It's a lot of fun. It's crazy. There's so much to talk about because it's such a huge game. As I said, the major plot twist upon which the gameplay changes fundamentally is 20 to 30 hours in.
I want to give Graham a chance
I
to
should
talk
also say
about
one
Warframe.
last thing.
since-
One last
oh,
thing.
One last thing.
It is my third most played game on Steam.
Ah,
It
How
has
many hours?
I've played Hitman 2 for 40 more hours than it. It is 346.8 hours, which is more than Civ 5, Apex Legends, Skyrim, TF2,
Ooh.
etc.
Yeah. That's a
All
bit.
right.
Graham, with last thoughts.
I've very briefly played Warframe, but I know it. It's very similar to Destiny. I like Destiny. That's all I have to say about it.
It's not similar to this.
Oh,
Well, never
It's
mind.
like it is
Well-
aesthetic and there's a whole thing about it.
Even
Yes.
the Warframe fandom is falling apart.
So like in terms of gameplay, it's like nothing like it's because
No, obviously it's yeah,
Destiny
Warframe is like
Destiny
more
is a
of a-
rather repetitive first-person shooter. There's Warframe is you're a ninja.
Mhm.
You have a gun, but you also have a sword and a bunch of other crazy weapons, like a boomerang with sharks on it. There are space combat sections, and one of the weapons you can use in space combat are two giant, and like they play this totally seriously, but like there's two Rock'em Sock'em robot gloves to
Oh,
just
wow.
punch things in outer space. It looks really stupid, but I gotta say it's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's Warframe.
That'll be good.
I think
I'm
so.
good if you guys are.
Okay, I think we're good. Grim.
Warframe.
I'm sorry, did you say Taylor?
Yes.
Well, I was going to vote for Warframe, but then Mick told me not to, so Pikmin 3.
Ah. Kirsten.
Warframe sounds like a lot of fun, and Pikmin 3 is on some days it's my least favorite Pikmin game, but it's a Pikmin game, and Pikmin 2 is my favorite game ever made. I gotta go with Pikmin 3.
Well, yeah, I mean, you put it on the board.
Yeah.
Mick.
How's that working out for him?
Fucking Luigi's Mansion Dark World.
Let me say this: the onboard ship computer that you have in Warframe, because you have your own ship and there's got like this AI, and he has some of the best lines in video games. He's kind of like Wheatley, if he occasionally cracked and turned into GLaDOS for like slight, like at the end of a sentence. Like there's this line that's stuck in my head where he's just like, Tenno, I hope to see you coming back covered in blood, safe and sound. Warframe.
Yeah, I figured. Glick.
Yeah, sorry, gang. It's gonna be Pikmin 3.
Yeah.
I'm happy
3-2
with that
victory
decision.
there.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that decision.
So, moving to the last bracket.
You do.
I think we all know what's about to happen, but let's just go into it with an
Let's
open
give
mind.
Clanky a chance.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never heard of this game, but I'm interested.
Me neither.
I've played it.
This is Monaco, What's Yours is Mine versus the Stanley Parable. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Can I start off?
Yes. you
Who
can
else?
start off.
So, listen, I might very well walk out of this also voting for the Stanley Parable. I'll just fully admit that.
Everybody's abandoning their picks.
Because, no, it's only because I would have put Stanley Parable as my number 1 or number 2 pick if I didn't know that Jordan was going to definitely make that his wildcard pick. So that's, I'm just putting that like on the table right now, but I guess I have to defend Monaco at least to give it a chance because I know no one else will. So I have to do this. It's a top-down game where you're controlling like thieves going into like various places trying to steal stuff. There's
Are the
one
thieves
main
just tops
objective.
down?
It's like a top-down, like, I don't know, it's how do you describe it?
Heist game?
Boobs out?
Yeah, I guess like a heist game, but it's not necessarily stealth, which is nice. Each character has like different. I mean, there is stealth involved. Don't get me wrong, but you get to play as different characters, and each one of them has like a different ability. So like some of them are able to break through certain walls after a certain amount of time. Some of them are able to see like where others are on the map, even though they're not technically in their view, quote unquote. And then, you're supposed to... The whole appeal of it is that you work together with other people using all your different abilities to, try to make the heist as successful as possible by getting as many coins which are like the bonus tokens, so to speak, and then like the actual heist itself, which is like getting the main objective thing.
This actually looks like a lot of fun.
Listen, it's one of those games where if you ask me to play it and you get a group of people together, I will always make time to play Monaco. I love this game so much. You have no idea.
Apparently, the sequel was just announced that it's in development like 2 months ago.
No way!
That I'll give it a shot.
And look, can I just say, I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is kind of exactly what I wanted Payday to be. So yeah, when the sequel comes out, I'll definitely play it with you.
Also, like all of
game.
my Steam friends own this game.
It's so good. I love Monaco. If anyone gets Monaco, I would play it with them in a heartbeat. I love this game. It's great. Christian, you can be mean to Monaco so I can vote for Stanley Parable. Go ahead.
Thank you. That's literally what I was about to say, Clanky. Is it okay if I'm mean to Monaco?
You don't like Monaco?
It's not even that I don't like it. I think I look at Monaco, I think the same way that Taylor looks at Papers, Please.
Okay.
It's not my thing, I don't think. I've tried playing it, I never know what's going on, and then everyone wins or loses, and it never has anything to do with me. And it's that over and over again. No matter how long I play it, I never understand anything better. I just keep fucking dead. And since it's just a co-op oriented game, like, you basically have to play with friends to get the best experience. So if I'm losing, I'm letting the team down. And it's like the same reason I dropped Valorant, because I was tired of playing co-op games where I didn't know what was going on. Everyone else didn't know what was going on, and I was letting everyone down by not knowing it. So
Can I say, I think I know the thing with like Papers, Please, and apparently this, which is it's kind of similar to how I feel about Sekiro. I like it, but it doesn't like me.
Yes, we can all have a game like that. So, that's my thoughts on Monaco.
That actually doesn't exactly sound like what you meant by how you feel about Papers, Please, but yeah. Anyway,
we're about halfway through.
Well, there's another game in this bracket.
Yeah, do we want to talk about the Stanley Parable?
I mean, I feel like a lot of you guys can vote for it anyway, but like, anything to say at this stage?
It's an incredible narrative and an incredible game, and I love that game so fucking much.
It is the highest rated game on my list. Out of all the games on here, it is in my top 30, I think.
Yeah. In fact,
I discovered this game. My roommate was playing it with his headphones on in the bed next to me, and he was just cracking up. I'm like, "What are you playing?" And he said, "The Stanley Parable." And I'm like, "What's a parable?" And he brought me over, and he's like, "All right, listen,
paper.
Just tell me what to do." I guided Stanley. I got the confusion ending.
Yes.
It was the greatest.
My favorite.
It was the greatest thing ever. And I'm like, all right, let's find everyone we know and sit them down and make them play this and just see everyone's reactions. And that's the great thing about the Stanley Parable, is that everyone's reactions to it are so uniquely great and at the same time so thematically similar that you get to reappreciate your love over and over again. And dude, I remember like when we were looking at the achievements, I'm like, oh, let's get this achievement on clicking on a door 5 times.
Go outside.
And then be awakened to the announcer going, oh, are you really just trying to get the achievement? And I'm like, oh shit, the game fucking knows me.
Yes.
And the Stanley Parable is the funniest game ever created.
I think so, yeah.
It's up there.
And one of the things that I realized, without even going into the specifics of Ultra Deluxe, but one thing that I realized while replaying it recently, is that this game can't work without specifically Kevin Brighton. Like you think it can. You think that that it didn't need to be Kevin Brighton, but it needed to be Kevin Brighton. It like the contrast of gameplay to the narrator. The narrator is a character, and one of the things I realized is that he's one of the greatest characters I've ever seen. He is so fucking on point. He delivers his lines so perfectly. The range of emotions completely dependent on what ending you are doing is all tangled together to create just one of the fucking greatest experiences you're ever going to have if you allow yourself to get into the headspace of this game.
Oh, yeah.
If I can add, I think the The Stanley Parable is not only one of the funniest games ever made, but I think actually some of the strongest parts of the Stanley Parable are the parts that aren't funny. I think some of the strongest parts are the parts where the game subverts your expectations by doing things that are scary or doing things that just make no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like, my favorite ending in the Stanley Parable is the escape pod ending, and it's the ending where the narrator, one of the 3 pillars of this game is the narrator. It is the one ending, the only ending in the game where the narrator disappears. It is the only ending where you, as the player, have truly grappled control, and they show this by making the narrator disappear. And I love it. I love it so much. I love how horrifying the home ending is. I love how scary I love the insanity ending and how panicky feel. I love that in the self-destruct ending there's a million buttons and none of them do anything. It's oh god. This game is a masterpiece. It's so good.
It's a game that I feel like you can't I don't know, like it's a game that you have to appreciate storytelling in games or storytelling in general in order to fully understand, you know what I mean?
I will say and I said this to Christian when we were talking about Stanley Parable recently. I don't entirely like the game is definitely going for a lot of different styles, a lot of different endings. I don't feel like it ever truly takes itself away from humor, like even with the insanity ending or like even the how do I say this ending without spoiling it outright? The blue door ending.
Yeah.
Or is it the red door ending?
I think it's the red door ending.
The red door ending. I feel like they're all just different styles of humor, and that they're so drastically different that the humor still creates itself. You can get other emotions out of it, but I still find that the only endings that are not truly funny are the escape pod ending and the true ending, or quote-unquote true ending, the freedom ending.
I think there's arguments for a few more in that category, but that's just me personally.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
If anyone wants
perfectly on time.
If anyone wants to play through Ultra Deluxe on my copy, let me know.
Yeah.
All right.
I need to whip the first game first so I can get the achievement.
All right. I have a feeling I know where this is going to go, but starting with Graham.
Stanley Parable.
Okay.
I really thought he was just going to bust out and say Monaco.
I also thought that.
Yeah.
Taylor, I think I know what you're doing.
It's Stanley.
Christian.
One day I'll like Monaco. One day.
You can't say that with certainty.
No, I can't, but I can say it with uncertainty.
Good.
Okay. Touche.
Mick.
Stanley Parable.
And Clanky for good measure.
I'm gonna give it to the Stanley Parable.
5-0.
You satisfied,
right.
Jordan?
Yes, I am actually.
Okay.
Very
I don't think
satisfied.
that'll be the last time you'll be satisfied this round, but
I think I'm going to be satisfied this whole tournament. But...
yeah, I have a good feeling about it.
We'll see. We'll see.
But,
okay.
All right. Now where the blood gets shed.
Okay. Last of Us versus Guacamelee.
there are
any
no
other
time
things?
limits for these, so.
All right. Anything to discuss with these two?
All right. So both of these are action games, and the combat of Guacamelee is better.
Woof.
Okay.
Can't argue against that.
What does this woof mean?
Anything else?
I feel like I missed the boat on this one.
No, it's something that I exclusively do. It's not anything you miss the boat on.
It's like
whenever somebody says something that you would expect a sitcom audience to go, "Ooh,"
Okay.
that's when I say
that's the thing. I
woof.
feel like I've heard other people say it as well.
Well, other people might use it in a completely different context. That's
Other
just the
people
context
probably
that
took
I
it
use
from
it in.
Clanky.
It's like
Also-
I do want to can I just mention one thing just about like The Last of Us. So Last of Us, like most games, made motion capture. However, there's one thing that sets it apart from other motion capture games, in that they only capture the motions, not the facial animations. The rig that the actors would wear for facial animations would just like get in the way. It would make the performance less authentic. So all the facial animations in that game are like personally done animations, and they are excellent.
That's cool.
Ellen.
That doesn't exactly affect the quality of the game.
I mean, I know, I
Okay, yeah,
really
okay.
think it does. Like that is.
Oh,
just,
I see.
like,
I see why you. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
like,
just
that
throwing
is
it
that
in
is
as
a theme.
and trying to sway us. Got it.
Yeah. But on the other hand, like, people will talk about Last of Us for the story, but that's because it is a very good story. How it has a very strong theme, like, running out about how everything that happened with Joel, and it's not. It's obviously it's a story that has been told before, but it takes the advantage of being an interactive medium to play with you, like, a little bit, and like how allow you to, like, go, like, on this ride, and what being interactive means for certain things in a story, if that makes sense. Because I know not everyone here has played. I'm trying to be as vague as possible, not being spoilers. There are several instances of, like, gameplay and story integration. There are times, like, with, like, I know, like, people will be like, oh, like, Last of Us love story so good, like, why do they just make, like, a movie or TV show? What the fuck?
That was a motorcycle passing by in my street. I'm sorry.
But no, like, I do think it takes advantage of the fact that it's interactive. That I'm curious to see what.
I vote for Guacamelee yet.
Um,
I'm sorry.
Give it a chance.
Listen, I swear I'm not just doing this because I want Guacamelee to win, but also I feel like for the purposes of the Yearlies and the fact that this is being recorded, Mick, I do want to give you a chance to talk about why you don't like The Last of Us.
Oh, no. I actually don't even have a good reason, because I've never fucking played the game.
Yeah, I think Mick might be in my boat where he just doesn't care.
Is that really it?
I don't care. And people want me to care, and I refuse to give in to them.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like the only person I've ever met who, like, wants people so badly to like The Last of Us is Graham. I don't meet a ton of people who are, like, singing its praises all the time, and that's fine. I do think it's good.
Well, okay, so it's one of these things where it's like, suddenly, like, the game is everywhere, and people are talking about how great it is. I'm not talking necessarily even about people you meet, like, people I know in real life. I'm talking about just, like, in general. Like, the game's won so many awards, and it's like people are always talking about how great it is. I think the fact that it got it got remastered, like, several months after it came out, I think that pissed me off so much. It has fueled this entire thing.
I think that's because the PS4 had just come out, and they wanted to sell it again.
Exactly, and I think that's what fueled this entire thing. But yeah, I really don't have I have no real good developed thoughts about why I don't like it. I just don't give a shit. And I don't want to give a shit because it doesn't interest me. And I hate the fact that people talk about it so much.
Oh my god.
That's not the game's fault.
Well,
no, Graham, it's not the game's fault, alright? Fuck you.
No, we're not talking. We're not talking.
Holy shit.
We're not talking about.
Am I right?
You could just start making fun of the owner's face, the creator's face, like Taylor did.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single weak moment in Guacamelee throughout the entirety of the time you play it. And I think it is funny and fun throughout. So it's really no contest for me.
Because it's trying to make me care about giraffes. Oh yeah, I remember, like, one of the few plot point moments I knew about in The Last of Us. You got, like, I mentioned it because I think I've, like, briefly, I was, like, watching a video and suddenly someone broke into talking about the giraffe moment in The Last of Us, and I was like, oh, I mean, I heard, you know, people were, like, talking about how great it is, and you guys like, what the fuck is this moment? But I, like, for some reason, I had happened to be watching, like, a video essay, and, like, they were talking about, like, great moments in video games, so they broke into talk. I want to, can I vote for Guacamelee now?
Well, who's up first? It would be like, are we
I'll go
moving one
first.
more down?
Yep, one more down.
Oh, so it would be Taylor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, Guacamelee.
Okay. Christian.
I'm going to go for... Look, I tried. I really did, okay? I tried to care about The Last of Us. Oh my god.
Me and you will play at some point. I'm going to force you to play it.
Christian, it's also a Metroidvania, and you like those now. So.
Look, I do. I've liked those for a long time, actually. If 2017 is the year, then it's been a while.
Mick, drive the stake through the heart.
The Last of Us.
Mick already voted.
No, I'm
Oh.
joking. Guacamelee.
If Clanky voted really quickly afterwards, you would have been.
Clanky.
I would have been fine with that because it would have been just funny.
Yeah.
My vote.
Yeah.
It's Guacamelee.
And Graham, I think I know what
The
you're
Last of Us.
4-1. Okay.
See you later, alligator.
That's rough.
Battle
Last of
the
Us.
sequels.
See you later.
Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag versus Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds. Thank you. I could only see a link on the bracket, and I forgot which one.
Yeah,
it was.
that's the problem
no
with
problem.
challenge sometimes.
Yeah. Any other further conversation about these two?
I think both games have a fair amount of freedom, but I feel like Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds has the greater amount, and I think for me personally is just way more fun in the moment-to-moment gameplay because you're not, like you can enjoy the ship combat, but it also separates this entire giant world, and I feel like you'll finish A Link Between Worlds a lot faster, but you'll accomplish a lot more during that time, and I personally just like Zelda more than Assassin's Creed.
Pirates, am I right?
Yar har, fiddle dee
So
dee.
true.
I don't have many other follow-up things to say that I didn't already say prior.
All right. Any other last?
Where's the
things?
Assassin's Creed about online piracy? Am I right?
Don't, can I say, don't threaten them, they'll do it.
Oh, there is one more thing I want to say about A Link Between Worlds. There's a mechanic where you go to an alternate world in the game, and you meet that world's Zelda, and her name is Hilda, and the way she introduces herself is, "My name is Princess Hilda, and I have failed you in every way."
Well, that sums it up.
That's how I should introduce myself to people.
That's a good idea.
Question.
Jeez.
Do you
Anyways.
identify with any fictional characters?
Princess
The
Zelda,
living
man,
failures.
yes.
I'm a living failure.
Failure.
Living failures? I'm a living failure. Shuts off the console.
I love the living failures. They're my favorite.
That's a
Anyway,
good
yeah,
point.
sorry.
Anything else, or can we go on to Taylor?
We can
voting?
go on.
If we're going on Link Between Worlds, please.
Okay, Christian.
I really tried to care about Assassin's
You're trying a
Creed.
lot this round.
I just like 2013 was the year where I just don't fucking give a shit about anything. Like
It's really
come on.
weird because I think 2013 was a very good year for games.
Yeah,
Christian, can I ask what age were you?
I was like, in 2016 I was 17 turning 18.
2013, yeah.
So
Yeah,
2013.
2013,
I was
we were
14 turning 15.
Oh, then it makes total sense that you didn't care.
Well,
care.
yeah. In
That's
2012
the
was his
where you
edgy
want to
phase.
stop caring
So
about.
Yeah, my edgy phase went until 2015. So I mean, Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds, by the way.
Okay.
what an edgy pick.
Yeah.
Mick.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Okay, 2-1. Lang. No, Graham, right? No, Clanky. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot where I was for a moment.
It's gonna be Legend of Zelda.
Okay, Graham for posterity.
Assassin's Creed.
3-2.
3-2.
All right. Luigi.
Babies.
Oh God.
Do we
Luigi's
even
Mansion.
need to bother?
Does everybody make their mind up between these two? Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, and
Luigi's Mansion,
Battleblock Theater?
Dark Moon. Take a look at the pretty flowers.
All
Yeah.
I'll say is the
Look at the
following:
rabbits.
if I may, buckle your pants. Buckle your pants.
Pull up
Pull
your
up your
Swank
socks.
socks
pajamas.
and dance. Buck. Buckle your
buckle.
pants. Buckle your pants.
I can't
Ladies,
say anymore because we might spoil the ending.
you're right.
Mhm.
Battleblock
Alright.
Theater.
Yeah, okay, Christian.
You know, when I made my list, I thought I liked Luigi's Mansion: Dark Moon.
That's right.
I tried to care about Luigi's Dark Moon when I put it on my list, but the more time when I actually had to say words that described the video game, it became impossible to say anything good out of my mouth. So instead, I'm gonna vote for Battleblock Theater.
I gotta tell you, Christian, there feels like genuine hatred here.
Oh my God.
The amount of disappointment this game gave me was immense, and it's only now bubbling to the surface, and I don't know
It's
why.
quite
I feel like
It's
you
quite
put this
funny
game on
that
just to pick on it.
I
That's
really
the thing.
didn't.
It's really funny the fact that Christian seems to dislike Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon more than I seem to dislike The Last of Us, despite the fact that he was the one that nominated it.
I should have put Game and Wario.
Yeah.
You should put Pokemon X and Y, because at least you had good things to say about it.
Well, I
we
think
would've-
Christian
let
heeded
me
my
say-
warning of putting another Pokemon game on here.
If X and Y was on here, we would go over the time limit.
We
Yeah.
would, yeah. Mick.
I don't really think so, because I think we'd all say, yeah, it's not that great, let's just go move on.
Well, would we all say that though?
I mean, I would. Like, I like the game, and I have a lot of fond memories of it, but I'm not gonna write home about it.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon game.
We're up to on that.
Yeah, those are fighting words, Graham.
We're up to on Battleblock Theater. Mick, I know you're probably voting for it.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it, Bible.
Okay, Clanky.
It's Battleblock without
Okay.
a question.
Gurm.
Battleblock.
5-0.
Exactly what I would have wanted.
Okay. And
You know what? Both of the comedy games have pulled clean sweeps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're in
Now,
the
to be
mood
fair,
laugh.
they were both up against what appear to be the least favorite things on here. But
Well, I mean, one of the least favorite things on here is up here next against Warframe. So,
Well, let me just say for this next one, Clanky and Mick, you guys can, based on your arguments, I'll vote for whichever one I think is better.
oh shit. Okay. Warframe versus Monaco. Go.
All right, here we go. Mick, do you want to go first, or can I go first?
You can go first.
All right. Well, Monaco, what's yours is mine is an amazing, thief and heist game because it really feels like you have to work as a team. I feel like it's one of very few games where I felt like that everyone is a valuable asset, and regardless of what Christian says as far as he feels useless when he's not doing anything, as long as you're doing what your character's ability is meant to do, which Christian did most of the time, you're valuable to the team. And if you lose, it's either because of really, really, really shit luck, or the team wasn't working together as a team as well as they could have. And I just think that Monaco does a really good job of making your crew feel like a crew that you're trying to do all this shit with. And on top of that, I also really do like the variety in characters. You wouldn't think that a game like Monaco would have such a variety and diverse character moveset and everything, but they do. Yeah, there are different characters and each one of them does different things. There's the locksmith who can open locks and do hand shit a lot faster. There's the lookout who can see hand shit. Yeah, you get and the lookout who can see what enemies are ahead and everything. I personally like the mole because he digs holes and they're great.
Oh, as they do.
Yes, and it's great. But anyway,
The name was very applicable.
Yes, it is. Much like my love for Monaco, it is very applicable.
Yeah. So I should clarify something here. When I said you wouldn't like Warframe,
I meant that you hate it and vote for Monaco.
What I meant when I said that was that if you went into the game the way you go, if you put it on your backlog and was like, all right, I'm gonna go play Warframe, you are going into it with the 100% wrong mindset.
Right.
You will never beat the game. It can't be done. It can't be done, and it's really you can't beat the game, and it's really boring. And it's that sounds really boring. It's not really meant to be played alone, and so in that sense, that's why I said you shouldn't play the game because.
Well,
it's
so
not
then
your
how is it that you uncover a twist within a certain set amount of hours?
thing. What do you mean?
Well, you said that there's a huge narrative twist that comes in the first 20 to 30 hours, and I
Yeah.
assumed that meant there's a campaign.
There is, but there's no end.
I see.
There are story beats, but the story beats will come when you play through different missions. But there's never a stopping point. It's like in an MMO. There might be a storyline in the MMO, but it's not like the game. It's not like the game has an end per se.
Okay.
And besides, it's constantly updated, and so they're always adding new storyline stuff and more stuff. And here's the thing: it's also you will not see the twist coming because I didn't even know that there was a storyline until the twist came.
Okay.
Look. It's hard to speak about this game the way it's hard to speak about this game and be. You can get a dog. You can get a cat.
Get married.
You can get.
We can go with this. We can go with that.
That's one of the reasons why I said I had compared it to Destiny is because it's very much a kind of I'm gonna open up the game every day for several years, get on with my buds, play a few rounds, and then get off and rinse, repeat, do it again the next day. But you're never gonna be okay, I'm gonna play this much until I get to this point in the game. Like, it's not really that sort of thing. And so
Okay.
it's just
All right. I mean, I feel like you kind of are soft pushing me towards Monaco because
well, that's
I mean,
the thing. I don't
And that's
have an
fine.
argument
And that's fine.
for you, Taylor,
no, and I understand. I mean, listen, you know,
because
if
I know how you play video games. I know how you actually. I know how you enjoy media in general.
well, listen,
And
I can get something out of multiplayer games, and I actually do play an MMO somewhat regularly. But well, yes, Toontown.
oh yeah, okay.
And that does count.
Yeah. No. I am. I just I was like, wait, you play an MMO? Oh yeah, Toontown.
And you know what? I think also playing Among Us with you guys has kind of contextually taught me how I could handle a multiplayer experience where like I think a multiplayer game never ends, but really it ends when everyone loses interest.
Yeah.
And that to me kind of gives me some semblance of closure, but at the end of the day, there needs to be like a selling point to going towards it. So for Wright, and I'll say like neither of these games particularly capture me, but
Monaco has a campaign. Monaco has a campaign.
it's not, you know what? I don't even care.
Oh.
It's just I'm voting for Monaco because you said ham stuff.
Okay. Christian, did
That's
you
a
try?
hollow victory.
You know, I have nothing against Monaco. I want to state that for the record. I just didn't really vibe with it. In fact, I don't even dislike the game at all. And I'm very excited for the new like Monaco sequel apparently that they're making. I'd love to be part of that crew and give it a second try. But Warframe sounds really, really cool, and I want to play it. So
it's free. It's free to play, and it has probably the best tagline for any free to play game.
Oh,
ninjas play free.
Nice.
All right.
Can I say this game came out in 2013? I was a junior in high school. Of course, I fucking ate this shit up.
So I know what's going to happen the next two votes. Mick, I assume I know who you're voting for.
Yeah, obviously.
Clanky, I assume I know who you're voting for.
Yeah.
Graham.
Graham, one of these games you have played.
No, I know.
Graham, vote with your heart.
If I was an asshole, I would like get back at you for voting out Last of Us, but I can't hate you for not liking Last of Us. I completely understand why you don't like it. So Warframe.
3-2 Warframe.
You hate to see it go.
Clanky, I'd love to tell you I tried, but I really wasn't trying. Clanky, just know, I was prepared to be nicer about you having Monaco, and then the first thing you said is, well, Monaco's not going to win.
I knew it wasn't going to. I just wanted to pretend that it would.
Okay. Round 2. Animal Crossing New Leaf versus Bioshock Infinite. What needs to be said, guys?
This is tough, but I feel like it's going to be very hard to convince anyone who isn't an active fan of Animal Crossing to vote for Animal Crossing. Okay. So this is another one where I'm just willing to accept the L.
Okay.
Oh, am I still first vote?
I mean, I think first vote is now Christian, right?
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
Then Christian, if you want to start the voting, go for it.
I will. I played Animal Crossing New Leaf, and I liked it a lot. I haven't played Bioshock Infinite, but Bioshock Infinite sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
And I am a self-professed not an Animal Crossing guy. So, Bioshock Infinite for me.
Okay. That's 1 point. Mick.
Bioshock Infinite.
That's 2. Clanky, I assume I know what you're voting for.
Animal Crossing.
Okay, 2-1. Gurm.
The first ever Animal Crossing game I got stolen from me, so I'm voting for Bioshock Infinite.
What a reason.
And
But then
Taylor
win, Graham.
Yeah, they won a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm also not a big Animal Crossing guy, and I did actually enjoy my time with Infinite a lot, so it's not tough.
Okay, 4-1.
I think we have some
I still haven't played the DLC for Bioshock Infinite. I need to get around to it at some point.
Yeah.
The second one is really good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I think
That's
I know
actually
how
true.
this.
I have played the first one, but I haven't played Burial at Sea.
I think I know how this next matchup is going to go.
No, don't say that.
I have an
I don't
inkling.
know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either, because can I say, when I played Grand Theft Auto 4, I never played the story missions. And why was that, you might ask? because I didn't want to.
That's what I notice about a lot of people. That with Grand Theft Auto is they never want to do the story. They just want to dick around.
I played all of the
Literally.
story in Saints Row 3rd, every single story mission. I didn't play a single story mission in Grand Theft Auto. I went into one, realized I had to go somewhere, and was like, no, fuck that. Where's the cheat code that gives me a bazooka? And then I did that for the rest of the time. So, Grand Theft Auto 5 for me is a simulator. It's not an action adventure game or anything like that. It's a simulator. It's a simulator game. So, I actually find the game to be pretty bleak. And does anyone else have anything to add before I vote?
You know, Christian.
Now, I don't know how much you want to mention, but remember, like, if you want to take a 200 into account, the heists.
God damn it, you're right. Holy shit, you're right. Oh, the heists.
All right.
Graham, you might have saved your vote.
We are all friends. Friends love each other. Realize you haven't done each other's 2 words, so our catchphrase is waffalo.
Anyway, time for a Viking funeral.
Well,
Oh.
listen. Christian, I'd like to commend you because, like, I think you picked the words that I was looking for earlier when I somehow turned my thoughts on people treating Grand Theft Auto into a diss on Scott the Woz by accident.
Mm-hmm.
What you said, it's a killing. It's a simulator. That's how I feel like everyone goes into playing it, and nobody appreciates the story content. Potentially because, no, I do too. I'm saying people are playing Grand Theft Auto wrong. But I also feel like there's a weird contrast with it that I don't know, man. It's also the heists are really good. They're the best part of the game. But I feel like they're a little too sparse, perhaps.
Well, you can also make up your own heists, right? That's what Rooster Teeth did, right?
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's the multiplayer component, which
Yeah.
I have not touched.
Which I know is a huge aspect. People have their own fucking life simulators in the multiplayer.
The reason I didn't want to bring it up is just because, like, the multiplayer is like such like a it's like a mixed bag of poison.
I just remember one of my favorite YouTube series is Kraken has a bit where he and a bunch of other people go to like a roleplay server and pretend to be a superhero organization. But like it's a roleplay server, so they're genuinely roleplaying as if they're guys who just dressed up and are trying to be superheroes despite having no powers. It's hilarious. I'll send it to you guys later.
Yeah.
Just because Graham made a good point, I just need to say again just how I think Rayman Legends, if we're putting these 2 games in the pedigree of how well they perform in their own genre, I feel like Rayman Legends is a better platformer than Grand Theft Auto 5 is an action game. I feel like if I'm going to play a Rockstar game, I will have a lot more fun with Red Dead Redemption or Bully, and that's a little bit of bias, but I also am not sure whether or not I like Grand Theft Auto 4 more than 5, and that's weird for me, because I feel like the transition from into 4 is a lot bigger than when they had 5. I feel like 5 was a bigger 4, but 4 was a lot more, I think, monumental to me, and I think Legends expands upon Origins. You might argue that not so differently, but I feel like it kind of, I mean, listen, it's the same that it fine-tunes the example, but I feel like there's less to work off of, and the changes they make, I feel like with the musical stages and just having old content in the game on top of the new stuff makes the value so great for me.
I am ready to vote.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
Graham changed my mind because he reminded me of Rooster Teeth and everything that they did with Grand Theft Auto 5 and made me realize
But
how
that's
much
not the
more...
game.
But that's not the game.
That's the things you can do in the game is what it made me realize. Obviously, if you take the voices out, then it's like, it's just... But that is still valuable. The fact that I could get a group of friends together and do that heist is kind of amazing, That's kind of incredible. And thinking back to all that I've seen of all the different things that I can do in Grand Theft Auto 5, it's a simulation that's more than just killing simulator.
Okay, but are you going to do those things? Do you like that you can do those things, or do you actively want to get friends to do those things?
I like it that I can do those things. I like it that it gives me the option to do those things.
But so then, like, versus what you're actually going to sit down and play and enjoy versus an idea.
Well, sometimes an idea is enticing in its own right, because an idea of, like, I'm not going to do everything in Elden Ring, but the idea that it's all there is amazing, you know?
That's kind of the appeal to, like, we're going to talk about this game, I know we are, but, like, with Breath of the Wild, I kind of don't think that that's a kind of game that's supposed to be 100%ed or something like that. It's the idea that you can do all the shit that I think Christian is talking about. It's, like, the idea that you can, like, have this heist that you're doing, you know, with friends or whatever.
The idea that
But I feel like that detracts from the core gameplay experience that you actually that actually appeals to you. You know, you Christian, like you. Well, I don't know.
In that rate, it depends on, as a person, how much do you value the core gameplay experience over side bonus shit that you can come up with. And I have always been one that has sort of valued both equally, where I am okay with games where I can ignore the main content if the side content is appealing and worth investing my time into.
Christian, at some point we're gonna do a heist. I put GTA 5 on my wish list. We're gonna do it.
I'll see about it.
Yeah, see, he's not even sure he wants to do that.
Well, I'm not sure I'm gonna buy Rayman Legends ever.
I don't agree. I think you will play it, and I think you will love the shit out of it.
Taylor, you're making decisions for
You're making this up.
Yeah.
I just know because he played Celeste and had a good time. I know he'll have a good time with this.
Okay, this will only sting a little. I'm voting for Grand Theft Auto 5.
You don't know that it will sting a little. It stings a lot. Now you're assuming how I feel.
I'm voting for Rayman Legends.
Okay, 1-1.
I love Kung Fu.
I hate
I hate Kung Fu.
Clanky.
I'm voting for Grand Theft Auto.
That's 2.
I'm voting for Grand Theft Auto 5.
And Taylor for Prosperity.
Posterity, not prosperity.
I know.
But prosperity is good too.
Posterity.
It's good to wish people prosperity.
Don't know if I'm more upset with Graham for influencing him or Christian for betraying Rayman, but I vote for Rayman.
I mean,
I can't betray a franchise I've never played.
I know.
Also, I'm just mad that Christian's reasoning is that, well, there was funny internet video that used the game.
The funny internet videos reminded me of what the game really was, and and that's totally fine.
But train has no brakes.
Fucking Rayman, man.
This next one should be a little simpler. Papers, Please versus
Taylor,
Phoenix
at
Wright
least
Duel.
Rayman's still there.
Taylor,
this
now
one's
you
gonna
know
be
how it feels.
This one's gonna be a little rough.
Is this just gonna be like? Am I just gonna get shot over and over again?
Taylor, that's it. Now you know how it feels. The Monaco Animal Crossing 1-2 punch that I'm about to receive. You'll know how it feels too.
This doesn't have to be revenge on Taylor. You like this game too, Clanky.
I like Papers, Please so much more than I like
episode's
Phoenix
gonna
Wright
be
Duel
called.
Destinies.
Oh.
I think Phoenix Wright Duel Destinies was good, but I think it was just good.
Oh.
It's okay, Taylor. You can insult Papers, Please creator's face
I don't
again.
want to insult Papers, Please. I think Lucas Pope is a very
You
talented
said he was
individual.
Aaron Hansen with a
Taylor.
mustache. I didn't think that was an insult.
Taylor. This competition does not matter. It matters as much as you let it matter.
Oh, God.
If Phoenix Wright Duel Destinies doesn't win Yearlies, then it doesn't
No
win
one
against
is
the
going
world.
to bring Phoenix Wright Duel Destinies outside and shoot it just because it loses.
You don't know who's standing
Don't
behind
threaten
me
me
with
with
a
a
gun.
good time.
Ding, 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 ding.
I want Yearlies memes.
And also,
Yes.
Clanky, I voted for Monaco. That's the difference between you and me.
Well, that's fair, but I still think Papers, Please is a much better game than Phoenix Wright Duel
my
Destinies.
God.
Well, I suppose we'll go into the voting.
Yes, please.
They're both games about finding contradiction.
This one's actually pretty tough for
It's
me.
so true. When you think about it, they're really the same game.
You know what?
Yes,
You guys need to stop.
Phoenix Wright doesn't have a punchable creator.
Damn.
Hold on, can you do me last?
Always, Christian.
Mwah.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my.
Yeah, Papers, Please.
Okay.
No hard
Clanky.
feelings, Taylor. I haven't played Phoenix Wright Dual
Clanky.
Destinies,
It's okay, Mick. I feel like you're the nicest about this, to be
on.
honest.
which is really weird.
I know.
For some reason, like I'm just like really mellow. This Yearlies for some reason. I'm like, nah, man, cool.
You got
whatever.
your anger out last year
Yeah.
with
From the
Okay.
border when we bonded about hating the Borderlands.
Oh my god. Yeah. Clanky.
Yes. Oh yeah. Duh. Papers, please.
Okay. That leaves Graham.
Phoenix Wright.
1. Taylor.
Phoenix Wright, please.
Christian, what are you gonna do?
Son of a fucking bitch. Well, okay, you know what? I think this will be a very respectable choice. Papers, Please was one of my choices, so I'm gonna vote for it.
Okay.
Because it's really
Grand Theft
kind of
Auto-
equal between the two. So, let's just do that.
Okay.
I think that
3 to 2.
I think of all the things here, losing to Papers, Please. Phoenix Wright losing to Papers, Please is the thing I wanted to the least. I think I would be. I think
I think you know how I felt when Alan Wake got killed by a fucking.
We will remember that was in the
WarioWare.
first Yearlies, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The
I'm
first
still
one.
kind of miffed about that.
That was the
I'm
first
not.
one.
I think that was the best possible option.
I wasn't
I'll
even
kill
gonna
you.
Okay.
put Dual Destinies on this
can I-
bracket.
For this, can I go first just so I can get a cup of water?
Oh, sure.
First, as in Pikmin 3 versus Stanley Parable.
Yeah.
If you'd like.
Stanley Parable.
Okay, thank you, Graham. You're excused. So that
Christian.
does that mean we go Christian now?
Sure.
Okay, Christian.
I like Pikmin 3 a lot. It's in my top 75 Stanley Parable, baby. Let's go.
That's 2. Mick.
Stanley Parable. I
That's
played it.
3. Clanky.
I love Pikmin 3, but it's still the Stanley Parable.
That's 4. Taylor.
What does it matter? What does anything matter?
No.
What is
What are you
life?
voting, Lee?
Oh, even this vote is meaningless, much like everything in life. It's just a choice. It's the Stanley
Jordan
Parable.
will remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, as we
5.
learned in the was it the last Yearlies? I think it was the last
Yeah.
one.
Choices don't matter.
Yes.
You all said the Stanley Parable, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's 5-0.
Okay.
Okay. Pikmin 3 versus Guacamelee. Quite the little mix here. Any comments on these?
You know, I
I
like
like-
Metroidvanias, but do I like them? Do I like them this much?
Listen, you've never played it, so you don't know if you'll like it as much. I feel like, yes, I think it's my favorite Metroidvania that is not a Metroid game.
That is interesting. That is
I
very
think I like it
interesting.
more than Hollow Knight.
Boy, that hurts my soul, but I find it interesting.
But I love Hollow Knight, so that's really just
Yeah.
that's how big of a statement it is.
Anything better than Hollow Knight must be royalty.
I don't know if you'll personally like it more than Hollow Knight because I think you're going to appreciate the setting of Hollow Knight, the bosses of Hollow Knight, the world a little bit more. But I think the overall pacing and experience of Guacamelee is so smooth throughout, especially if you go to get those extra math pieces and there are like these really fun platforming challenges in either one. I think you'll have a really good time. And like again, pacing is a very important thing. Like you could make the argument that Pikmin 3's pacing can be completely dependent on what you are doing. It is you control the pacing of Pikmin, which could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Well,
But-
Pikmin 3, I would actually argue you don't control the pacing of Pikmin 3. It is actually the only Pikmin game where you do not control the pacing. But
Well,
that's
it depends on how you orient yourself. To be honest, I think
I
you
don't
didn't
know.
have that experience. I don't think that means that nobody had that experience.
Yeah, I don't know. I have my own qualms with Pikmin 3, but
Come back to me. Maybe I don't have to think.
Okay, then it's not. Clanky.
I do enjoy Guacamelee. Don't get me wrong, but I still enjoyed Pikmin 3 more. So Pikmin
Okay.
3.
All right, one for Pikmin 3. Graham?
Even though I don't like the food, I'm gonna vote for Guacamelee.
Guac is great, though.
quack quack.
Taylor?
Doc Guac.
I liked Pikmin 3. Don't get me wrong, but I got to give it to Guacamelee. I liked it better.
Okay, 2-1 Guacamelee. Christian?
I liked Pikmin 3, don't get me wrong. But
Oh,
Guacamelee sounds pretty cool, so I'm gonna vote for Guacamelee.
3 and Mick?
Am I the tiebreaker?
No, you're the
No.
posterity.
Oh, okay, good. I don't know.
Or prosperity.
Which one?
Prosperity.
Can I give?
Guacamelee has won.
Okay, I'll vote Guacamelee then.
Wait,
4-1.
Guacamelee has 1. No, Pikmin 3 has 1.
No, Guacamelee
One
has
vote.
1.
Oh,
W-O-N.
You'll give it to
Duel
Guacamelee.
and duel again.
Okay.
All right, 4-1. Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies versus Legend of Zelda: A Link
All right.
Between Worlds.
Between Worlds.
Sorry, again, the challenge does this.
Legend of Zelda: A Link.
Listen, this is an example of narrative versus gameplay, and I think the narrative is so personally better to me than even the gameplay of A Link Between Worlds, which is already so good. This is one where I won't be mad, however the vote goes, because I would respect either decision.
Okay.
Will you respect me if I flip a coin to decide which one I'm voting for?
No, that's the one thing you can't do.
Gotcha, that's what I thought. Okay.
Are we ready to get to the vote?
Flipping a coin is a worse way to make a decision than stupid YouTube videos.
Can I just say, I genuinely don't care, though. Actually, wait, hang on. No, I do actually. I know which one I'm voting for.
Okay, well, you're up first.
Dual Destinies.
Okay. Clanky.
It's like Between Worlds.
Okay, tied 1-1. Graham.
Dual Destinies.
2-1
Damn.
Dual Destinies.
And
Taylor.
one?
Dual Destinies, please.
3-1 Dual Destinies. And Christian.
I was gonna vote for Dual Destinies anyway, and actually, so there we go.
This is.
4-1.
Am I like I'm like the only one backing these games up?
That's
Wow.
I have sung Link Between Worlds praises all night. I think it only won 2 rounds, and that's a shame. But I think it's been matched against my favorite things on this bracket. So, speaking of my
Rayman-
favorite things on this bracket,
Rayman Legends versus Battleblock Theater.
Oh God, this is hard.
again, I think this is. I mean, obviously, Battleblock Theater has gameplay, but I think it's gameplay versus narrative a little bit because if you're playing Battleblock Theater, chances are you're playing it because you want to hear those cutscenes, and maybe you have a friend. But Legends also has co-op, and it's also awesome.
I'm voting for Battleblock Theater just because I had more fun playing it, probably because it's the kind of game that it's more at my pace. I'm not really a platforming guy, and so like the sort of the slow puzzle platform is better than this like momentum based stuff that like it's good. It's just not for me.
Sounds like someone who hates Kung Fu.
Mm.
Well, good thing,
I hate Kung Fu.
good thing I
thought
love
you
Kung
loved
Fu.
Kung Fu.
I love
Clanky.
This is tough.
Isn't it though?
Yeah, because despite everything that's been said tonight, I do have interest in wanting like Rayman Legends, but I don't know. I feel like since I have played Battleblock Theater and I have enjoyed it, I have to give it to Battleblock.
That's 2-0. Graham.
Rayman Legends.
2-1. Taylor.
Rayman Legends, Christian, you have a chance here to redeem
Christian.
yourself.
Oh, you're not gonna like this. Oh, you're gonna hate what I'm about to do. Because I was thinking I can't choose between these two games that I've never played before.
Flip a coin.
I'm not gonna flip a coin. Instead, I'm gonna think of some old shitty YouTube videos. No. I'm gonna think of Back to My Roots. And I think Back to My Roots, and I'm like, based off of these game franchises, which one would I have a better chance of?
All right, I
liking?
know where this is going.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
never played a Rayman game. I don't often play Ubisoft games. But Castle Crashers is in my top 20 favorite games. And they made Battleblock Theater.
There's an alien hominid reference in the game if that does anything for
There's
you.
an alien hominid character in Castle Crashers.
You can play as in a Mario costume in Rayman Legends.
It's true.
Listen,
But
Mario,
Mario-
a platformer?
this is it.
Mario's not a good name to bring up in this just
No.
for this
All
crowd.
No,
right,
it
so
never is well.
let me just say again, man, those music stages are some of the most amazingly crafted stages you'll ever play in a 2D platformer, and it's not even close.
They are, but there's only like 5 of them.
I know.
No. Trust me. I wish the entire game was made up of just the music stages.
Listen, I think if Christian is voting for Battleblock Theater because of his appreciation for that company, I kind of can respect that. I know he loves Castle Crashers. It's better than the GTA 5 argument.
Oh yeah, no. I'm totally with you there.
You people.
We've given it to Battleblock Theater, right?
Yeah.
But also, Rayman Legends is dead now, and that's rough, buddy.
It went out before my wild
Listen,
card.
some things have to die so that others may live.
Yes. Animal Crossing New Leaf versus Warframe.
Christian Clanky was saying how he thinks this is an open and shut case, and I was explaining that not sure it's I don't hate Animal Crossing the way I'm making it sound. It's just like both of these games are like the pinnacle of devote a lot of time to reap their rewards.
Yeah. Oh, 100%, yeah.
And I never devoted the time enough into Animal Crossing to actually reap its rewards. Of course, it's not my vote, so I'm not one to discuss yet, but... I
should say, you can get actually a lot of fun from just, like, the bare gameplay. It's just that, like, the game really opens up after you've played it for, like, 20 to 30 hours. Even more than that, because there's other stuff to do after that, like... It's an investment if you want to get the most out of it, but you can have a lot of fun, like, just doing, like, the bare minimum. Just doing flips and shit is just fun.
So it's just casual flips.
Am I crazy to think that someone has used that argument every Yearlies? That you can just do flips and shit?
I don't know. I don't remember anyone using the flips and shit argument, Briar. It's a good argument, don't get me wrong, and I'll probably use it again. If the situation to use it ever comes up again, and I don't know that it will, but, like...
I think it will.
We'll see. But but no video game does flips and shit quite like Warframe does.
Interesting.
It is the height of it is the height of flips and shit gameplay. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting I go first.
Okay.
Warframe.
Okay, Warframe has one. Clank.
I feel like I've done a very poor job defending Animal Crossing New Leaf, and for that I apologize to that game, because it is really probably, honestly, the best Animal Crossing that there ever is. So I'm giving it to Animal Crossing.
Okay, 1-1. Graham.
Warframe.
Okay. Taylor.
Listen, I almost went and got New Leaf, and then I didn't. But I still feel like if I had to choose between these two, I would have more fun with Animal Crossing.
Probably.
Okay. Christian breaks the tie.
This is gonna hurt me more than it hurts me. But we're gonna go with Animal Crossing New Leaf.
What the hell did you just say?
Let's roll with that.
I'm shocked.
3-2 Animal Crossing stays
I
alive.
did play New Leaf after all.
Yeah.
Hey, Mick did say not to set your expectations, Clanky.
That's fair. You know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
So the next two sequentially are in
Can I just say, I'm shocked that Warframe made it as far as it did, considering that Graham only played it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Are the next two canonically in the losers bracket?
It seems to be. It seems we go bottom up losers brackets
we
and
go
then up down
Okay.
in round 3.
This is the next one. Oh God.
Battleblock Theater versus Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Well,
Clanky, I did just give Animal Crossing the benefit of the doubt, but now, fucking man, can I just say, if there was one person I would like to spend the day with, it would be Will Stamper doing the Battleblock Theater narrator.
And not the narrator from Stanley.
Oh, no, I get it.
I choose to spend a day with my wife.
I feel like he would be a good second pick, but I feel like I feel like he would be a more passive conversationalist, or he would speak too intelligently.
Okay.
Whereas, like,
yes.
Yeah, like I feel like I could put any game on to play with Battleblock Theater narrator, and he'll say something. I mean, that's dismissing Kevin Brighton, of course, but
Taylor, by the way, that was me quoting the ending of okay, just making sure.
I know.
Okay.
Yes. I'm ready to vote if you guys are.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Would be Clanky going first.
Well, it's been fun. But now I think I'm certainly not going to last much longer with this. So I'll vote for Animal Crossing again.
Okay, that's one for Animal Crossing. Graham?
Battleblock.
Okay. Taylor, I think I know where you're going.
Battleblock Theater, kill your friends.
Christian?
Clanky, I had a lot of fun playing New Leaf with you, okay? A lot of fun.
It's okay. I understand.
I'm gonna go Battleblock.
That's 3 Mick for posterity and prosperity.
Battleblock, because I've actually played
Okay,
it.
4-1.
That one hurts. That one really hurts.
Guacamelee versus Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Welp. Taylor, you're going to have fun with this one.
Just like if there was ever a Yearlies where like my favorite games were more like were matched up against each other so often. I got nothing, man. You guys are ready?
All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Clanky.
Oh God, I don't know.
It's me.
I guess Phoenix Wright.
Okay. Graham.
Phoenix Wright.
That's 2. Taylor, I think I know where you're going.
Let's get it out of the. I mean, you know what? Hang on. I just realized whatever I say kills the other.
You have to put one of them in the grave.
I just need a moment to send my wishes, my best wishes to Guacamelee. Guacamelee, you are excellent. I love you. You're an excellent game. But Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies is Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies.
Yeah. Christian.
I was gonna vote for Guacamelee, actually.
Okay. 3-1. Mick.
Phoenix Wright. More my
4-1.
There we go.
I am happy with how well
Okay.
Phoenix Wright is doing.
Well, this one.
Now we go from the top.
Yeah.
Now we go from the top. All right, fine. We'll do the more interesting one next. Second then. Bioshock Infinite versus Grand Theft Auto 5.
I'm ready to vote.
I'm ready.
Okay. Still starting with Clanky, I think.
It's going to Bioshock.
Okay. Graham.
Bioshock.
Taylor.
You know, I might ordinarily want to take more time to think about this, but I'm mad at GTA 5 right now.
Mhm.
So I'm voting for Bioshock Infinite.
That's 3. Christian.
I was gonna vote for Bioshock Infinite.
4. And Mick.
Bioshock.
5 takes out 5.
There we go.
And speaking of blowouts,
Oh dear.
Papers, Please versus Stanley Parable.
This is tough. This is actually really tough.
This ain't tough for me.
It's not tough for me.
It's a little tough for me.
Clanky.
We're probably gonna skip
It
Clanky.
really starts with me.
unless you wanna-
No, it's fine. I'll just pick Stanley Parable.
Okay, that's 1. Graham.
Papers, Please.
Wow. Taylor.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 choices, he picked the one with his name.
Yes. Christian.
I'd like to say for the record that I can't wait to play Papers, Please one day, and it's gonna be fucking great. But Stanley Parable is one of my favorite games.
Mick.
I think I'm gonna choose Stanley.
4-1.
But I'm not confident about that.
Yeah.
It is
I
a
feel you,
loose
Mick. I
standard.
feel ya.
Then it would be 24, 20. These two are next.
Okay. GTA 5 versus Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies.
I'm ready to
Well,
vote.
Okay. Graham
Let's
goes
see what
first.
happens.
Phoenix Wright.
All right.
Well, that's the most shocking thing I've heard today.
Taylor.
Phoenix Wright, please.
Yes. Christian.
I'm gonna go with Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay. Mick.
Phoenix Wright. I'm not a Grand Theft Auto guy.
And Clanky.
GTA.
3-2, Phoenix Wright. GTA leaves.
Can
I
I
wasn't
say
too
all of that was
invested.
worth it? Oh, that was 100% worth it just for Taylor's reaction to Graham saying
Yes.
Phoenix Wright.
Not proud of it.
GTA 5 was an honorable mention.
I know, no, but still, it was really funny.
Yeah.
Just wait. You were like a GTA 5, and I was
Like
like,
he's
"That's the most
getting a
shocking
movie
thing I've
ticket.
heard all night."
It's like Graham's getting a ticket to a movie, but he's not happy about it. Like, one for Phoenix Wright.
This is like a Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
One for
Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright.
Papers, Please versus Battleblock Theater.
Oh wow, 2 games I haven't played. Oh boy.
Well,
It's still me.
Yeah, Graham.
Papers, please.
Okay. Taylor?
I really like Battleblock Theater.
Oh. I thought you were going to do a butt. All right.
No.
Sometimes people do. Because then Christian will go, I tried! But, Christian.
I did not try to vote for Battleblock Theater. I voted for Papers, Please.
All right. Papers, please. 2-1. Mick.
It's gonna surprise everyone, but I have so many fond memories of playing Battleblock Theater with Kyle. I'm gonna choose Battleblock Theater over Papers, Please.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
And it's down to Clanky.
Papers, please.
3-2. Papers, please.
What have you guys done? You've destroyed Phoenix Wright.
Okay.
Because,
Will it?
because now we go to 27, according to this, and Phoenix Wright versus Papers, Please have gone up against each other once.
Wow.
So, if anyone wants to betray...
All right. I think we're still starting with Graham, I think.
Phoenix Wright.
Okay. Taylor, I think
Phoenix
I know
Wright.
Kristen?
As much as I want to vote for Phoenix Wright, I gotta go for Papers, Please.
Yeah.
Mick. Yeah, sorry. I short-circuited.
Papers, Please.
Okay. And Clanky?
Clanky, my friend, my pal, my buddy.
Listen,
I'm not your buddy, guy.
Not your pal, friend.
I think Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies is a good game, but
We've had
unfortunately,
such
it
great
doesn't go above good
conversations.
for me.
That is not how we talk about it. I don't believe you. You're lying, Clanky.
I'm
So-
sorry,
You
but
don't
this
mean
is
it.
Taylor. You ultimately know
don't.
this is why we had to go with the divorce.
No.
Taylor.
I'm sorry.
Taylor.
Phoenix Wright.
Taylor.
I know.
Taylor,
I know.
want to remind you what Papers, Please is probably going to go up against in the losers in the final. So,
It's a pride thing, Jordan.
you will still win out.
You don't
but-
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's
but
gonna
Papers,
be Papers,
Please.
Please.
Listen,
3-2.
Phoenix Dual Destinies did better than I could have ever hoped, and
That's
really?
fair.
it is the only. I feel like of all of the things I put in here. Well, no, Guacamelee did pretty well too, but the other 2 things stung in
Okay.
some places. So
Hey, Bioshock Infinite versus Stanley Parable.
oh boy, all right.
That's tough. That's
Who
really
start with?
tough.
It is.
It is
Sorry.
not tough for me.
Okay, well, Taylor is the one that goes first. And I think I know what he's doing.
I mean, I know what I'm doing too. I will say again, I actually do think Bioshock Infinite is great. One other thing I should mention, though, I actually prefer the original. Everyone, I think a lot of people think Bioshock Infinite was the peak of its franchise. And
Yeah.
maybe in gameplay that's true, but I think I had the best experience with the original
No,
Bioshock.
I
I
agree.
agree.
In gameplay,
100%
that's
agree.
true, but no, 100%. Like, I don't actually think that's a controversial opinion at all, Taylor.
It's not. Yeah.
I think when Infinite came out, people
When
were...
Infinite came out, sure, yeah, no, that was the opinion, but I think that was also kind of part of it, like the hype train, that people were just like, oh, it's finally out of
Okay, I guess I never, found...
That's my impression about Bioshock.
Oh no.
I mean, yeah, apparently for me, they sound like fucking football hooligans. Oh my! Bioshock Infinite's finally out!
Oh my god, bro! We gotta get that game.
I've
Guys,
never
you're-
heard you do that voice before.
It is really good.
but yeah, the Stanley Parable
I
is
figured.
the greatest.
Christian.
Well, I could say insert something clever here. The Stanley Parable.
Okay, 2-0.
Bioshock.
Okay, 2-1. Stanley Parable still.
Stanley Parable is funny,
Yes.
but I've had such a good time with Bioshock Infinite, regardless of my qualms about its story.
Clanky.
It's gonna be the Stanley Parable.
3-1. Stanley Parable. Graham for posterity.
Bioshock.
3-2.
That was
scares
close.
me.
I honestly thought I didn't think Clanky would vote for Stanley.
No,
Ooh.
listen, I I love Bioshock Infinite, but ultimately I just like the first Bioshock more because I think it just has everything going for it, where I can't say the same for Bioshock Infinite.
Well, before we completely
I
wrap
didn't
up
mean
the
to put
Bioshock talk,
I should say,
Yeah.
I actually think it
Here,
has. I don't think the first one has everything going for it. I think in a lot of ways, Bioshock One's. I think in a lot of ways, also Bioshock One's political commentary falls a bit flat. Like it leans too heavily on straw man and doesn't actually bring up any legitimate points.
That's fair.
But like that's kind of besides the point. Like its atmosphere is great.
Bioshock Infinite versus Papers, Please.
Still me?
Yeah.
Bioshock Infinite.
Okay. Christian,
Papers, Please.
Mick.
Bioshock.
Okay. Clanky.
Oh,
This one, I gotta admit, like it wasn't a tough decision for me, but I can see why this is a tough decision for the rest of you.
Yeah,
Except Taylor.
This is really tough.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll give it to Papers, Please.
But your
And
entries, Clanky. They put
Graham.
Bioshock Infinite higher.
Bioshock.
Bioshock barely gets past.
I'm happy with Papers, Please at a serviceable third place.
Yeah.
I didn't
Okay.
mean to put in
Same.
this extra 31st round. If we get to the 31st round, like if Bioshock Infinite wins, we'll just do the same results for this round over here. So
Bioshock
I don't know. I don't know quite what you mean.
this round is an extra round where if the loser beats the winner, the loser has to beat the winner twice in order to win, basically.
Well,
I guess
silly.
that might make sense in another.
So what you're saying is if right now Bioshock Infinite beats the Stanley Parable, then Bioshock Infinite has to beat the Stanley Parable again?
Yes,
Yeah.
I put it in by accident. So
Okay.
Right.
Well, I still think the Stanley Parable is better.
All right. Is
I
that
mean,
what you're
of course
voting
you do, but it's not just up to you.
are we all ready to
No,
vote? This is the
no,
last
well,
vote after all.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that because it's my vote, I think.
Oh,
for? Okay. Taylor votes for
All right.
Stanley Parable. Christian.
I own Bioshock Infinite on Steam, and I am going to play through all of the Bioshock games because I have all of them on Steam. At some point, I'm going to play through all of them, and I'm going to like them. Mick, were you saying something?
You won't like 2. It's not worth it.
But I'm going to play it anyway because I like to experience bad media.
That's
I
fine.
don't. 2 is not bad.
Yes, it is.
It's not. It's just like the weakest.
Or the Stanley
Make-
Parable.
Make your own opinions, Christian.
Yeah,
Of course, I'm
Christian.
making my own opinions.
Mick.
Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah. Clanky.
Fuck.
You're kind of the swing vote.
I know. I'm like Pennsylvania in an election. Am I right?
Hey, I'm from Philly, so I mean I'm from around there, but yeah.
Fair enough. I don't know. Can we come back to me?
Okay.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Okay.
Graham.
Bioshock.
Okay. We're back to you.
Oh, fuck.
As you can see,
Clanky,
everything went
Clanky.
exactly as you could have
Clanky, Mark.
expected.
Clanky, you knew what you wanted 5 minutes ago. So if you're having
bargaining again, buddy.
Vote with
All
your
right,
heart.
yeah. Fine.
No, don't just do it because you already voted for it. Really think about this.
Remember, if Bioshock Infinite wins, we're gonna vote again.
Yeah.
No, we're not. I'm just going to
And
count
then I
these
have
results.
to be
Yes,
convinced
we are.
to vote for Stanley Parable. No.
We are not voting again after this. This is the last vote.
You add
Clanky.
another bit.
Clanky, you made your decision. You know what you want.
Yeah, but no. I changed the first Yearlies we did. Like I had initially voted one way, for one game, and then the last one was the same as the first one. And
Yeah, but that was between the first round and the last round. This was 5
Guys.
minutes ago.
We've
Yes.
forgotten that we're in a situation where my wild card might be about to win, and I haven't said shit about it.
Yeah, Clanky, you can't let that happen.
You're right, you can't.
I think I have an answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. Bioshock Infinite is a game where
Okay. Whatever.
I absolutely loved playing it. And okay, never mind. I'm just gonna vote for Stanley Parable.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Okay.
And the Stanley Parable just fucking swept the entire tournament.
End
Also, it didn't absolutely sweep.
It got no losses.
No, it had no losses. But that didn't New Vegas. until the end. So.
True, until the end, but Stanley Parable didn't even
But
lose
like,
at the end.
my point is, like, it didn't get like 5-0 every time.
Yeah,
Can I
that's
just
true.
say-
So it's not a.
I should go as far as to say the Stanley Parable won, and we didn't even have to talk about Ultra Deluxe.
Yeah,
because
Ultra Deluxe wouldn't have
Deluxe didn't
changed
come
my
out.
opinion at all.
Yeah.
Well, I think it would have enhanced this conversation even further. It's fine. It's fine. That's just a testament to the quality of this game by itself.
Mm-hmm.